have yours on a Google Doc? That's so fucking, like...
Convenient.
Yeah.
I can send you the template if you want. You can transfer it over to it.
I might try that. I like myth weavers. Are you recording yet?
I am recording.
Hi, Kristen! I love you!
We love you.
Don't we all?
Something's messed up, though. I had it so that you could see me, but you can't see me anymore.
I can see you.
I know you can see me, but I can't see me, and that is a problem. Okay, so who wants to do a little recap of what has happened?
I have lost my notebook in the move. It's in the apartment somewhere. I've been looking, but not.
I'm looking.
My memory's super bad, but I remember some things.
I do as well. Let me
All
see if I
right.
have any notes.
Well, I'm not going to do, like, the campaign entirely, but where we last left off, our beloved heroes had, okay, so we had returned to the city of Penrith, the capital city of Olimar.
Right.
And to find that while we were gone on our merry jaunt to Everhold to kill a Cyclops, the city
that's what we're doing.
we were in Everhold to kill a Cyclops. We killed the Cyclops, we came back, we got that sweet Cyclops money. We returned to Penrith to find that while we were gone, just after the festival, the Eminence Festival, a giant tear had formed in reality above the Eminence Palace and destroyed it, presumably killing the Eminence, as no one's seen him since.
The city of Townsville is under attack!
And there's a new eminence.
There is a
replaced
new Eminence. I didn't remember his name, but I
either.
found it out, guys, because I read Kristen's notes, and he doesn't have a first name, but he is God. Where is it? It was in here.
No.
Where did I put it? I thought I had bolded it in here.
Made me cheddar chive biscuits, guys.
Bet.
I have sliders.
I have tea. Okay, so it's
I have
Eminence.
tea.
A man named Eminence Bet has taken power briefly.
I don't know if he actually learned his last name.
It's Bet.
Yeah.
You don't know his first name.
That
but
we know.
He is Eminence Bet.
Okay.
You probably heard the guards mentioning it as you were dragged away because you supposedly murdered him.
Right.
But we didn't.
We didn't. No. So what happened was as we arrived, another tear in reality was formed, and a horned demon appeared, and we killed it, and then a bigger one showed up and was pissed off because we killed its baby, and we're like, well, this is bad. So we ran away and got separated, and Flower got knocked unconscious, and she's not here right now. We were eventually reunited in the chaos, and by the cloaks or the hoods is what they were called, members of the quote-unquote Thieves Guild from Ravenmore, reunited the party, told us of the happenings, and we attempted to escape the city, only to find that it had been closed off, the gates had been closed off by the city guard, under the order of Eminence Bet. We confronted him, and we found out he's a dick. And
We found out that Soriel is really, really bad at whispering.
Yes, Overall's terrible at whispering.
Yep.
And whispered, should we just kill this guy? Loud enough for everyone in the room to hear.
Yep, that happens.
So we had to murder two people, and Bet ran away, invisible.
In my defense, I did remember that there were two people matching the descriptions of the two people we murdered.
That's true.
As potentially evil, horrible things that we should want to kill.
Yes, they were half-orc brothers who you remember possibly having a bounty on their heads, but you're not 100% sure.
100% sure. Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know who has the bounty on their head.
You just know you saw a thing once for some half-orc brothers that look kind of like these guys, maybe. So that happened.
Maybe it's racist.
We saw the ring, but we don't know what the ring means.
Not the ring. It was a clasp.
Okay,
It was holding his robe on. It was like a brooch, and it looked like a skeletal hand.
Right.
Don't know what that means. Well, at least you guys don't. I know so many things now, because I'm God. Becoming God has changed me, guys. And then...
I'm a god in another world.
Yes, you are. Everyone but Daniel is.
Aww.
So after that confrontation, we were all promptly arrested, except for Therius, who screamed, "I'm not going back to prison," grabbed Roris like a football, and then ran away. And that's where we are now. Flower... Except...
Flower mentioned that I am royalty, and now the guards are like, fuck.
Yes, because you forgot. Flower brought that up. So now we have Flower, Agnes, and Soveral are in the custody of the guards. Therius, the half-dwarf, half-frost giant, is disguised as an old man, with Roris the halfling disguised as a young boy, and Skullcrusher the dog, disguised as a dog, are just hanging out by the guards building, watching you guys get taken in for questioning. So, Flower's not in yet, but I do have 2 of you, so we're going to start there.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay.
So we are going to begin with the interrogations.
Okay.
So you were all bound bodily. You've had your weapons removed from you at this point. So any weapons that you have not hidden are gone. Flower and Agnes are obviously spellcasters. You guys have had your hands not regular manacled. They're like a weird spreader manacle where it's got like a solid iron bar in between them, so you can't even get your hands close to each other. They don't want you casting no spells.
Rude.
Soveral. Oh, also, another thing. I'm a cruel god, and from now on, everything you say is in character unless you're asking me a question. So good luck with that. Soveral, are you currently still disguised as a human, or are you letting your elf flag fly?
Just trying to remember exactly how we got to town. We got back from fighting the
Cyclops.
The Cyclops. We came back and we went to deliver the bounty right away.
Yes. We came in through the main gate.
We came to the main gate, but we went to the tavern in the morning.
Yes.
In the lower area.
Yes.
Have we spent time here yet?
You have been in the city for less than a day.
All right, then I would have gotten into human form before we got to the city, so I would still be in.
Okay, so you're still disguised as a human. Solid.
Yes.
I'm going to need you to roll me a disguise check.
All right, let me remember how we do that.
Well, you have a skill called disguise, presumably. Or no, you don't.
I'm proficient in the disguise kit tool.
Okay, cool.
And then it depends what ability modifier we were adding to it.
I'm going to say
I
deception.
think the past we did... Okay, so deception. So, all right.
So you have advantage on this roll, and you add your deception modifier.
All right. All right, that would be a 26.
26, solid. You are very solidly disguised as a human being. All right, so you were all removed from the cart, the carriage, manacled, as I said. So overall, your manacles are normal, but you no longer have any weapons upon you. They did a fairly thorough check. And you are taken into a solid 2-story building. This doesn't look like a normal prison. It doesn't look like the place where they keep prisoners long term. This looks like it's like some sort of office almost, if guard offices exist in this fantasy setting. You get taken inside into a narrow room. There is a couple of guards standing, talking in the hushed voices in the front room, but you don't get, unless you really want to stop and listen to what they're saying, the guards are pulling you through into a back area where there's about 5 cells along the wall. And there's a door at the far end of the hall. It's one side of the wall is all cells, separated by solid stone walls. And the other side, there's a couple of doors, and there's one door at the very end that's open. So there's currently 4 guards on you. One for each of you and another one supervising. He is wearing some sort of... He was like the guard captain that was there when you guys were arrested. And they're pissed. Because they freaking shot their load off at a dwarf who just ran away. And they know that your compatriots are missing. So, yeah, that's right. Smile, Jen. Alright, so they push all of you into separate cells, except for Miss Agnes. Your guard says, come with me, and pushes you by the shoulder down towards the end of the hall with the open door. Inside, there is an older man, and he's got like a little beard going on. He looks like tired. Like, his wrinkles look tired. His, like, entire body is just kind of like he does not really want to be here. And he glares at the guard who brings you into the room. And it's a fairly blank room. It's just him and a table and 2 solid iron chairs that don't really look comfortable. And the guard pushes you forward and just nods at the older man. And then he goes out the door and he closes it. The guy who's sitting in there nods to you, nods to the chair, and says, take a seat.
Okay, I'm gonna sit down.
Good. And he brings out, he's got like a little piece of parchment and a little pen or charcoal or whatever they use to write with. And he says, all right, for the record, can I get your name?
Agnes Fairchild.
And what brings you in today, Miss Fairchild?
We were trying to figure out what was going on. We came back into the city, found that something had attacked it.
Where were you before? You say you're coming back to the city. You just came back today?
Yes, we were taking care of a Cyclops problem that your city was having.
We were not having a Cyclops problem.
Okay, sidebar, I don't actually remember where we got the Cyclops bounty from then.
Everhold. We got the bounty here, but the problem wasn't Everhold.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were taking care of a Cyclops problem from Everhold.
All right.
We came back to the city and found, and someone had told us what had happened during the Eminence Festival.
Yes.
And that thing attacked us when, we were...
Could you be more specific than thing? What attacked you?
It's a large winged demon.
All right.
And
he seems like nothing you're saying is surprising him, but he's writing everything down.
Yeah. So we tried to fight it off to help the city, and then something bigger started attacking. And so our priority was to get everyone out of the city as soon as possible, to try and keep casualties down. However, we found out that there was someone blocking the exits to the city. So we went to talk to the Eminence to ask what could we do to try and save the people. And he attacked us.
All right. And what is your affiliation with Usil'Dore and the Council of 12?
I am a descendant of the Fairchild family. They're a very old family in Usil'Dore, and very well renowned. And I am the last descendant of the family.
And but your family is not part of the council, correct? You're not part of the governing body of Usil'Dore.
Not directly. Not anymore.
Be more specific.
As far as I know, when I grew up in Usil'Dore, I was told that there were several members of the council that were my aunts and uncles, but as far as I know, I am not actually blood relative to them, but they are still close to me.
Mm-hmm. And how long has it been since you've seen any of these people, these aunts and uncles, as you refer to them?
Few years.
And what is your current status in the city of Yailuma?
My status?
Your status, as you would describe it.
I'm considered a princess by title, but I have no governing. I don't govern anything. That's not how our city works.
So, despite not have you're princess by title, and despite not having any sort of governing powers, you somehow are led to believe you're immune to the laws of Penrith?
I am not led to believe I am immune to the laws. I have never thought that of myself. But I would think that your laws would be the same as laws that we have, in which case self-defense is something that I can defend myself.
As we understand, there were several witnesses who claimed that your party began the fight against Eminence Bet. Was there some sort of political agenda that was motivating your assassination?
No, and he's not dead.
What leads you to believe he's not dead? He's missing. We cannot find his body.
Escape. We saw him escape.
You saw him escape to where?
Out the window. I don't know where after that.
Your claim is that after the Eminence attacked you, you fought back in self-defense, and the leader of our city jumped out of a third-story window and escaped.
I am only telling you what I witnessed.
I see. This creature that attacked you earlier in the day, what plane of existence did it come from?
I have no idea.
Do you have any knowledge of the being or associations or groups that may have summoned it?
I do not.
Do you yourself have any hand in the summoning of this creature?
Definitely not.
Did you execute any form of magic today?
Against the creature, I did.
Did you execute any form of magic against Eminence Bet?
Sidebar. Did I?
Yes, you did. Yeah, no, you totally did. You cast some spells against that dude. Bro was ripped, okay? Bro was punching people left and right.
Only in defense of myself.
So the death of Eminence Bet's two associates is due to this self-defense?
Yes.
Were you able to, in any way, incapacitate these men without killing them?
Apparently not.
I see. Well, I have to say, Madam, Miss Fairchild, your story, you must realize, is not particularly convincing.
I realize what you may think, but I only tell you the truth.
Well, I appreciate your candor, such as it is. And he knocks loudly 3 times on the table, and the guard opens the door up again to the room. And the interrogator says, should I have further questions, you will be called back. Please go with my associate here.
I get up and I follow his associate.
Okay, so the guard takes you back into the main hallway and to one of the empty cells. And he just sort of like shoves you in and closes it. And he gives you kind of like a sneering look, like a very disapproving look. And then he goes to the cell next to you, which holds Silverall. And he unlocks the door, and he sort of gestures with his chin for you to follow him.
Roughly how long was I in the cell for before this?
It's not been super long. It's maybe been like 20 minutes, max.
So not enough time for a short rest.
No, not enough time for a short rest.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, if you want to count it's been like over an hour since the fight that you guys had with the Eminence. If you want to call the cart ride over here a rest.
I'm guessing it's not was not super restful, given the fact that we had guards looming over us,
I
watching
mean,
our
were
every
you doing
movement.
anything?
I don't even know if I can wear it. Can I wear it?
Not particularly.
I mean,
Your call.
it really hasn't been long enough for a rest. I wouldn't say no.
Perfect.
Which isn't an issue unless you're planning on fighting the guards. So this
No, I'm just... Yeah, go on.
So this guard, he grabs you by the shoulder and he... Oh god, someone's calling me. I think it's Kate. Hold on. Why is she calling? Oh man, Kate, girl. We gotta add her. Hold on. I thought I added her to this.
Who knows?
Hold on, Christina's gonna add you to the other chat. You gotta add you there.
The link's in the Facebook thing also. Also, Daniel, I think, sent me partial map.
Yep.
Thank you for that. It's like the western half of the map. I appreciate that. Hi, Kate.
Yeah.
Hi. How is this
The only map I
working?
had access
Can you
to.
guys hear me all right and all that?
Pretty well, yeah.
Okay, this is my tablet, so we're going to be using this tonight.
Cool. Okay, a couple notes. I have incomplete information because Kristen has not given me everything.
Okay.
Second note, we're recording this for Kristen to see.
Well, if you look, I made a couple I chatted in the Twitch page because I tried to watch you guys on there, but it wouldn't load.
Oh, that's unfortunate. And there you are. I can see you now. Sorry,
I had a lot of trouble with Lyft.
I had the chat thing closed. Third note, we're currently in the middle of the interrogation of Silverall. It just started. Yours is next. So fun times.
Okay.
And fourth note, I am a cruel, cruel god, and everything you say is in character unless you're specifically saying it to me.
Oh, god damn it.
Yup. So you gotta hold in those witty quips I know that you love so much. Okay.
How many people will Chelsea end up sleeping with now?
We don't know, because she hasn't seduced the interrogator, so far so good. You didn't think of that as an option, did you?
No, I didn't.
It's too late now.
Oh,
All
did
right.
you already...
She already
You
got
already
interrogated.
interrogated,
Yeah.
Okay.
This dude works quick. So you're in a cell, you have your hands manacled behind your back, they are spread apart by a thick iron bar so they cannot touch each other. And it has not been long enough for you to have a rest since you battled the Eminence. Silverall, you are being pushed by the shoulder into the same room that you saw Agnes go into. And you see the same thing. There is an old, tired-looking man sitting at an uncomfortable-looking table, and otherwise the room is blank. You get pushed inside, and the door is basically slammed behind you. And the interrogator gestures for you to sit down as well.
I sit. Do I recognize the interrogator at all?
You wouldn't, probably.
Would I have any general knowledge of who he might be?
Roll for history. I guess you have been living in Kenya for a while.
Yeah.
This is not plugged in. Is that why this isn't working?
Kate,
8.
8. You have no freaking idea who this dude is.
Yep.
So, Kate, could you mute yourself while you're trying to figure this out, por favor? Alright, never mind. So you have no idea who this dude is. He sighs, and he's got a little situation to write down notes on. And he says, state your name.
Oh, shit. Krell, whatever Krell's last name is.
Freaking, bro, he's your character. He's your false identity.
I know, but I didn't have that one pulled up, and it wasn't any of my other documentation.
Just make up a last name.
1 sec. Krell Amberheart.
Amberheart, cool. Mr. Amberheart, could you please describe in your own words the events of today?
We had just gotten back from doing a job for the Crown, taking care of a Cyclops problem that was a few days out. Following that, we went to check in on the Eminence, only to find that his palace had been completely destroyed while we were away. And as we watched, a planar rift of some sort opened and some demonic entities attacked, and we did what we could to defend the city and ensure that as few casualties as possible were had. Following that, it's unclear what happened. Some of us were not the best for the wear. And the turmoil, I guess, I just don't know what happened. But we were trying to leave the city and met up with this new Eminence Bast, I believe you said his name was, or somebody. Bet. Someone said his name was. I pulled my head in my hands and bloody and just completely kind of out of it.
Roll a deception check.
No, I actually am.
You're saying that you am out of it?
I ended the fight with like one hit point.
Okay, then no,
so.
you're messed up still. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's fine. Also, don't forget your hands are chained behind your back.
Okay, then I don't have my head up. I just like kind of am slumped over.
Fair.
The Eminence had with him men who were not of the right sort. They had likely done wrong elsewhere. I don't remember everything, but conflict ensued. We fought the Eminence, or the new Eminence, or whoever's claiming to be the Eminence, and his men. His men died. The Eminence escaped, turned invisible, ran away. We didn't find him, didn't see him. And that's when you came. And now here we are.
I see. And throughout the course of this, you say you don't remember what happened. Did any sort of incident cause you to have memory loss, or are you simply overwhelmed by the situation?
It's been a long day. Nothing specifically.
This creature that you described coming through some sort of planar rift, do you know what plane of existence this creature came from?
Kind of roll a knowledge check to see if I would know that.
Yeah, go for it. It would probably be...
Arcana?
Yeah, I would say Arcana.
6.
You have no idea. Man, you're not on top of things right now.
I'm sorry. I have no idea.
Do you have any knowledge of any groups, organizations, or persons who would summon a creature in Penrith?
Again, I have no idea.
Did you or any of your party members have anything to do with the summoning of this creature?
No. I mean, it appeared when we went near the Eminence's old palace, but we were not involved in any way, and we were not even in the city when the first attack occurred.
You said you were going to the Eminence's palace to visit the Eminence, I believe were your words. What business did you have with the Eminence?
We had been doing some work for Ravenhold, whatever.
That's the name of it, yeah.
Yeah. We believe there was some corruption in the overseer of the town, and have been tasked to take our finds to Eminence. We had discussed them in the past with the guard captain. I can't recall his name. And I guess we were checking in, but again, details are fuzzy.
What is your association with the half-elf woman known as Agnes Fairchild?
Companions, traveled together. We have fought together in battle. I met her a few weeks back. She's a competent ally. She's a competent fighter.
So your
But
association only extends for how many? 2, 3, a month?
3, a month at most.
So what is, if anything, your familiarity with the city of Yailuma?
I've heard the name.
Do you
But beyond that,
have you ever been to the continent of Usador?
never.
Roll a deception check.
That would be a 19.
Okay. Do you have any affiliation with the Council of 12?
None.
And what would you say was your motive in attacking Eminence Bet? Was there any sort of political agenda driving the assassination?
Eminent Bet is not dead.
Yes, you said he turned invisible and escaped. Could you be more specific?
That is exactly what transpired. Midway through the general conflict that ensued, following our conversation, he went invisible. He disappeared. And I can only assume he escaped. His body has not been found. I would assume. At least it was not there with the others.
And your claim is your motive for attacking the Eminence and his compatriots was that the two men the Eminence had in his company were of the wrong sort?
They're...
In the distance, you hear Flower cackle through a wall.
There was a bounty on their head, but I do not know from where.
There was a bounty. Can you be more specific? What does the bounty claim they have done? Do you know who? You say you don't know from where. Is there any sort of affiliation with who had this bounty out on their heads?
I'm guessing I can't roll anything at this point.
You can try and roll an intelligence check to remember.
All right, let's do that.
But the DC is going to be pretty high.
15.
You have vague recollections that maybe you saw this bounty like a couple months ago in a town just outside of like near Penn Tower, like a little place. There was a sign that said looking for some half-orc brothers. You don't remember what association was calling for their heads. You don't remember if it was dead or alive. You don't remember how much money they were offering.
But it was in a public place?
It was in a public place, and it was a couple months ago.
And it was near Penn Tower.
Near Penn Tower.
And that Penn Tower is the one near Everhold, right?
Penn Tower is on the western side of the, I guess it would be the southern run at this point, near the Delta from Ever Tower.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's on the Ever Tower side of things.
It's on the Penrith side of things.
Penrith side of things. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Penn Tower's on the Penrith side of the river. Ever Tower's on the Everhold side of the river.
Okay, Penn Tower.
Yeah.
It was back down when I was in Penn Tower, not, but 2-3 months ago. But I don't know who was asking for, who was funding the bounty.
He makes a note of that, and he nods, and then he knocks on the table 3 times, and the guard comes back, and he seems to be he's handling you roughly. This guard, he kind of like drags you up from the chair, And he's handling you roughly, but he doesn't seem to have the same disdain for you that he had for Agnes. And he pushes you back into your cell. And then he goes for Flower.
Hello.
And unlocks that cell, and he grabs her by the shoulder and starts shoving her towards the room. Flower, you weren't here for the main intro. You get pushed into, unless you try to do something else, you get pushed into a smallish room with a old human man who's got like a graying black beard. He looks very tired. He's wrinkly. He does not look like he wants to be there. And he's looking very stony and seriously at you as you're pushed into the room and the door is closed behind you. And he gestures for you to sit in the chair opposite him.
All right. I go ahead and sit down and kind of look over at him and just blink for a minute. Clearly not. She looks worse for wear.
I mean, you all are done messed up. Let's be real.
Yeah.
All right. So he says, "Please state your name."
I'm sorry, the water was boiling.
It's okay. "Please state your name."
Flower Smith.
And Miss Smith, please, in your own words, describe the events of today. I know this is hard because it's been freaking months since we played this campaign. Sorry, but just do your best.
What I remember, and I've been hit upside the head several times today, so grain of salt here. We were going to check on some bounties and possibly check out the library because I wish to take a potions class there, I think. When we were passing by the Eminent Manor, that whole nasty demon business started with the giant portal, everyone running. My group did, we fight monsters, so we decided to fight those monsters, which I believe was the right thing to do. However, it's questionable as to whether it was the smart thing to do. And I fell. I woke up after being dragged out of that area by some good Samaritans who helped me get up. I reunited with my party. We went to try to get out of the city and everything was blocked, so my party went to go see the Eminence. Something felt wrong when we went to see the Eminence. His guards were very rude, very, very rude to us. I believe they picked up one of my companions due to a disrespectful tone. I think that's it. And then we fought. The two big ones fell. The Eminence turned invisible and fled through some form of magic. And then you got us. You said you were going to execute us. I reminded you all that my friend is partial elven royalty and I am connected to the Council of 12, and now I'm sitting here in front of you and I'm very tired.
All right. What is you said you have some connections with the Council of 12. What is your affiliation with the Council?
I'm the apprentice to the druid on the Council of 12, known as Christina Sidebar. What is his name again?
Vartan.
Vartan. I've been his apprentice for majority of my life now.
And he is a current member of the Council of 12?
Yes. He dislikes staying in the city, so he's usually off in the forest, but during matters of great importance, he gets called to the city, and I have gone with him on occasion.
In the event of your execution, what do you predict the repercussions will be should your master, your teacher, your mentor find out?
Have you heard of Vartan?
Please answer the question.
No, I'm just trying to see how much you understand of him.
Please answer the question.
Let's go with very displeased. It would not be war, but I would think that most animals would not enjoy your city for a good amount of time.
Do you have any knowledge, the monsters that you said you fought earlier today, do you have any knowledge of the plane of existence that they came from?
Other than it was not ours?
Please answer the question.
Not very much, other than it was not ours.
Do you have any idea of the groups, organizations, or persons who would summon such a creature?
No, that is something that I've been looking for, so that I can report it to my master and he can see what aid can be done.
So you had prior knowledge of incidences like this before the Eminence was attacked?
None like this. There's been some rumblings of dimensions not being stable as they should, of certain breaches possibly happening where they should not, but I've never heard of one of this magnitude. Much smaller things, but nothing that's been substantiated. That was what I was out to do. Which, substantiated.
And would you consider yourself or any members of your party potentially responsible for any of these dimensional shiftings?
Oh, no. No.
What was your motive in the assassination of Eminence Bet? Was there a political agenda?
The assassination of Eminence Bet.
What was your motive in attacking him then?
We were attacked first.
By you said his companions lifted a member of your party?
Yes. I haven't seen that member in a while.
Would you consider lifting to be a threat?
Yes.
And
toward the halfling, yes.
It
was a halfling they lifted.
Your party member is a halfling. What is their name?
Roris, if you've seen him. Have you seen him? Is he alive?
Please, full name.
Roris. I've been hit in the head many times.
Tumblebelly.
Oh no.
You would know it's Roris Tumblebelly. You would know that, yeah.
No, I knew that. I was seeing if Flower could get out of telling him.
Oh, okay, well then roll a deception check. If you're gonna bluff it, roll a deception check. Bro.
I know. I was waiting for you to ask me to.
Well, I don't know if you had legitimately forgotten, because it has been a while. At this point, it's kind of hard for me to tell what you guys actually know, because, like, I know I forgot a lot of stuff.
That is a decent roll. That was an 18.
Okay, so he accepts that you've been smacked about the head a lot. He seems to accept your answer, and he writes down the name. And he said, he continues, have you performed any unauthorized or unsupervised spells today?
Out of character. I believe the answer is yes. I can't remember what she did.
It's super yes. You summoned a thunderstorm.
Oh yeah. Remember fighting the demon?
Please, yes or no answer.
Yeah, we Well, fighting the demon to protect the city, yes, I did use magic to fight the demon that was threatening the city.
Did you use any magic against the Eminence or his compatriots?
Out of character?
Yes, you did.
I don't remember.
Yes, you did.
I think it was mainly healing, though. I don't think Blower actually attacked.
You did use magic.
Yes. I used healing magic. I don't believe I attacked.
Do you believe that any members of your party had any hand in the disappearance of Eminence Bet, as you describe it?
No. I believe the magic came from him.
And he turned invisible.
You know, yes.
And escaped through magical means.
Possibly out the window, yes. Or out the top? Was there a top? Yeah. He turned invisible and ran.
He sighs loudly through his nose, and then he knocks on the table 3 times, and the guard comes back. And he doesn't even wait for you to stand up. He sort of puts his hand like in your underneath your arm and lifts you from the chair, and he pulls you back out into the hallway. And you pass Agnes's cell, and you pass Silverall's cell, and you get put back into yours. And the guard sneers at you, and he backs up so he can look at all 3 of you, and he says, "Oh, I'm gonna look forward to watching you all get your heads chopped off." And
That's very rude.
it's only a matter of time before we find your little friends. It'll make it easier on all of you if you tell us maybe where they are.
No idea.
You do realize last time we saw them was probably the last time you saw them.
But you gotta know something, right? They're your buddies. Maybe the Eminence, when another one's picked, because, man, we're just going through them, aren't we, you all? When another one's picked, maybe they'll give you leniency if you tell us where the others are.
I would
They're
love
not
to know where the others are.
from
I have
here.
no idea.
This isn't our home. We don't have a place of origin here.
That's the story you're staying with?
Look, we'd help you if we could, but
We can't.
we know nothing.
Lying is against nature, and I'm not lying. Druid.
The guard kind of looks at you funny for that. And he makes a unhappy noise and just kind of walks off in the opposite direction from the door. You don't see the interrogator leave the room. The door to there closes from the inside. Meanwhile, where the others are,
Did they take all of our items?
your weapons are gone. I don't believe they would have taken your arcane focus, because they probably don't know what it is, but unless it is within reach of your manacled hands, y'all ain't getting your hands on
It stays on her body. It's more of a comfort thing than anything else at this point.
They probably wouldn't have taken it because it doesn't look like a weapon. If you had any weapons on you, those are now gone.
Yeah, she carries, I think, a scimitar. So
Well,
that's
that's gone now. Sorry?
My pretty bone knife.
Your pretty bone knife is gone. Somebody absconded with it. They gave you a very thorough pat down.
Okay. Flower is going to start praying in Druidic in order to up the thing of, I'm just a druid.
I'm
at
just
me.
a poor druid who's been smacked about the head.
I'm just trying to help your city from an evil demon. Oh, poor is me. You know my master is on the Council of 12.
Meanwhile, with the Smashy Duo and their faithful dog companion.
Smashy duo.
The Smashy Duo. Therius and Roris, disguised as an old man and a young child, respectively, have been stalking sort of the cart to the guard tower and are holding back in an alleyway a bit down the road, watching the building. So, we have been, since the fight, we've been trying our best to get some people out of the city. We were a little successful with a man and his daughter. We got them into that tunnel out, and then we saw the cart. And Skullcrusher's here.
Yes.
So, we're in this alleyway.
I'm concerned for our friends.
Like, they're gonna kill him, right? Like, that's what they do, right?
That's what they said, which is why I picked you up and ran.
I mean, yeah, I was there for that. Yeah. Like, what, we gotta get him out. We gotta get him out of here. There's way more important stuff that we gotta do than...
I agree. I'm only good at a couple of things, though. Fighting, surviving, and, like, sometimes scaring people.
You scare people a lot. It's like it's one of your better traits. You're good at that.
I mean, I'm pretty big.
Yeah. I mean, not... You're like 5'5". You're big to me, you know? I appreciate that. Roris looks around the corner of the alleyway out into the street, and he's just like, I don't know if we can fight that many guards.
Yeah, no, it was a terrible idea. We
Yeah.
can't just smash our way through.
I mean, we did the first time.
Not much.
Yeah.
It was more like smashing our way through to run away as opposed to smashing our way through a fight. Not my usual style, I'll admit, but I'm not going back to prison.
I'm
Not this.
no, but we can't just leave them. We have to do some. I've never broken somebody out of prison without magic.
I mean, we broke out of prison without magic, right?
No, we drugged the guards, and then Flower turned into a squirrel and scouted out the place. And I mean, we could,
I wasn't there for that bit.
you were
I wasn't
in
there for that.
you were in the prison. We were busting you out of the prison. We could try drugging the guards again. I don't know where to get drugs.
All I have is poison.
That's not helpful.
Not quite the effect we're going for.
No, we can't kill them because then they'll be super after us. They think
They're
we.
kind of bad guys anyway.
I mean, I don't know.
We don't know what it looks like in there.
No. Could we? Do you think? Okay, here I'm just spitballing here, just throwing out ideas, seeing what sticks. What if we pretended to be guards? Or what if you pretended to be a guard?
I could try. I feel like my look is pretty obtrusive. Like, the film itself got. Our character real quick. I have also
Real quick, Daniel, could you mute yourself because you're making puppy noises?
Sorry.
Wait, I love your puppy though. She's so cute.
out of character.
Yes.
I have 2 potions that Kristen gave us, and we didn't have the opportunity to check them.
Okay.
So all I have written down is blue potion and yellow potion.
I might have those. Hold on. Were those the potions that you got in Everhold?
I think so. All I have written down is blue potion and yellow potion and no notes. Because it's packed somewhere still.
Okay. The yellow potion you would probably recognize as a potion of minor healing.
Okay.
And I want you to roll me an Arcana check.
Oh, this is something I'm good at. 10.
You have no idea what the blue potion is. It's not a healing potion. You know that. You're familiar with some healing potions, and it's not that. You have no idea what it is.
If I pop the cork and smell it, what smell do I smell?
It smells kind of briny. Like, a little bit, like, a little salty, a little, like, a little intense. It's not pleasant to the nose.
Okay, I put the cork back on. I don't want to use it if I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I don't think know what it is.
Darius does not know what it is.
It's almost like all your magic users are in prison.
Well, the only way I know to get a guard uniform would be to wander around looking for someone about my size, knock them out in broad daylight, as that's what it is now, and we don't really have time, and then try to get in there.
I mean, like, I'm a small, helpless child, sir. I could lure a guard here, maybe. I could try.
Maybe a few more blocks down, like not right next to the guard station.
Yeah. I don't know how to get them out. We can't just fight everybody. I mean, do we know... Soverall's the sneaky one. Do we know other sneaky people?
I don't think I know anybody here, but I can't remember. I mean, we know the Thieves Guild folks.
The Hoods.
But not, like, well.
And I think they left. They said they were going to Ravenmore.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So, no, I don't know anybody.
Crap. Dang it, man.
We can always go back to their hideout and see if any of them are left.
But what if they get executed in the meantime?
I don't know what to say.
I don't know. I mean, we can try that. I mean, they're sneaky. They know how to get in and out of places. Like,
You know what? We'll get me a uniform. We'll go for it. Worst thing that happens is they get me. Not ideal. But, I'll manage.
Okay. All right. You said we should probably try somewhere not here. We gotta find a guard somewhere else then.
Yeah. We don't want to go too far away, because
Yeah.
I want to keep an eye on this situation.
Okay.
Looking out, like if I look out into the street and I look a couple blocks down away from where the jail or whatever is, where our friends are there any guards out that way?
The street's actually pretty barren. There's not a whole lot of people wandering around because most of the city that isn't either holed up in their homes or have escaped already is everyone's near the front gate. They're trying to get out still. So you don't see anyone around, but you do remember from going back and forth from the Rosestone District to the gate, you did see a couple of patrols of guards going around, but there's no one here right now. All of the guards are either in front or inside of the guard building.
Well, we could always go back to where we saw one of those patrols while we were headed up here.
Yeah, we could do that.
Pretty sure I know where they are. I don't know if they take the same route, but
there's gotta be. I mean, there's not a whole lot of people left. Like, we gotta run into someone sometime.
yeah.
All right, let's try it, I guess, and be quick.
Yeah, mine was pretty quick, so.
Okay.
We maybe leave Skull Crusher here to keep an eye out, or I don't really know how to do that.
I mean, I can tell him to stay. He knows to stay.
Yeah, but if our friends were going to be executed, he couldn't really do anything about it. Let's just go real quick.
Okay. And you two and Skull
Take off
Crusher
down the street.
kind of, you're keeping, I'm assuming, like, keeping to the sidelines, kind of, like, out of the way.
Yeah, taking alleys that if we can.
Okay. And how long do you say that you would be, like, running around looking?
I mean, I would head as directly as possible using alleys to the last spot that I saw a guard patrol.
Okay. You probably saw
wouldn't
something. There were definitely some guards going back and forth near the entrance to the Ridgeway, like the main road that goes from the Ridgeway, from Rosestone to Ridgeway. You saw, like, there was like a guard or two milling around there, and that maybe like a 10-minute walk. But going quick, you guys. I mean, as quick as Roris can go. You guys head over there, and you see that there's 3 guards that are just kind of like on the street, keeping an eye out. They're talking to each other. They seem kind of tense.
Can I hear what they're talking about at all?
Roll a perception check.
Natural 20.
Oh, snap. You hear literally everything. For a moment, you hear the song of the very universe itself, and you are given forbidden knowledge that is so vast you can't even understand it. But you also hear the guards muttering to themselves about how the eminence is dead, and how it's like, the second eminence today, like, this whole town's going to pot, we're all gonna die, like, we don't even know what happened with that weird thing that was destroying the city, and they don't want to be here, but they are keeping their post, and one of them's kind of like, assholes, we're given a job, we gotta do the job, and the other 2 are just kind of like, not about it.
Alright. Are any of them approximately my size?
One of them is a little taller than you, and he's a little chubby, so that you think maybe he would, like, fit you in the shoulders and everything. The pants you might have to roll up. I might have to roll up the ends of the trousers.
Okay. So I point to that one, and I say, I wait a block that way and around the corner in the alley. Do you think you can get that one there?
I can try. I'm not sure, because there's 3 of them. I'll try and be specific and get that one. If I get more, we may have to do some fighting.
I'll manage.
Okay. We'll do our best. Here. Skull Crusher, stay. And Skull Crusher sits and his little tail's wagging and he's happy. He doesn't know what's going on. And so, or Roris kind of wanders out, and yes, sorry.
I would like to attempt some sort of stealth so I can maybe get a surprise attack.
Cool. Attempt to hide.
14.
Okay, you are 14 hidden. I'm gonna roll Skull Crusher, sensing the mood, also attempts to hide. And he does not do well.
I'm kind of around the corner.
Okay, you're 14 hidden around the corner. Solid. Okay, so you see Roris go up, and he's taken on the mannerisms of, you see his shoulders go up a little bit, you see his hands come in. He does not look as heavily armed as he actually is in his tiny child's clothes.
And Skull Crusher's still with me.
Skull Crusher's with you.
How is he acting?
Skull Crusher seems pretty chill. He senses that there's something going on, and he's being quiet, but his tail's still wagging, and he's kind of just sitting there with you. His eyes are on Roris. If he can see him, you might pull him around the corner if you want to.
I sort of kneel down and I say, "Hey, buddy, you want to follow Roris? Go get him."
And Skull Crusher's like,
"Yeah, go get him. Go."
and then he runs. He chases Roris, and he runs up to Roris, and you see, you've moved back a bit, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
roll another perception check then.
Perception.
Yeah, to see if you can still hear.
Unnatural 1.
Oh, the song of the universe is faded from your ears, and you're not permanently deaf or anything, but man, you can't hear crap. All you can hear is the wind through the silent streets, and you can see Roris approaching them, and you can see Skull Crusher come up, and Roris looks a bit surprised that Skull Crusher's here, kind of you told him to stay, brah, dog. You see the guards come up. The one who was complaining the most is kind of coming up to Roris and talking to him, and you see the sort of stout, portly guard is just hanging in the background, and Roris runs up to him and sort of you can tell grabs onto his tunic and is kind of seeming distraught. You can't hear much, but you can hear the muffled sounds of talking. You recognize Roris's voice, the voice he puts on when he's pretending to be a kid, because it's higher pitched. Hold on, I gotta roll a performance check. Crap. Oh, you are so lucky. Okay. He seems to be doing a really convincing job, super convincing. If you did not know better, you would say this was a tiny child and not an overly muscled halfling disguised as a tiny child. The guard who was badgering his companions about keeping their place, he's trying to get them to stay where they are. He seems to be arguing, but you see the stout guard hold up his hands kind of angrily, and then he puts a hand on Roris's shoulder, and the two of them start walking towards you, and you can hear there's some shouting, but then it trades off, kind of and Roris starts walking towards you, and he's saying, "I think he was over here. I didn't see him. He was real hurt, real bad when I saw him last." And the guard's like, "It's okay, kid. We'll find him. Don't worry." And they get close, and they start rounding the corner.
Whack! Golf club swing with my axe.
With your axe? Okay, roll to attack. And it is a surprise, so I'll give you advantage.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Marginally better. That's an 18 to hit.
An 18 to hit. Let me bring up the guard stat block. You done whack him with your axe.
I'm lacking.
Is this lethal or non-lethal damage?
Non-lethal.
Okay. Roll for damage.
Go for not murdering today. Nice. That's not bad. 13 damage.
This
Said I'm
guard,
not-
This guard falls like a rock. Like, he did not even see you. You round the corner, you smack him with the blunt side of your axe, and he just goes down. There's like a crack, and he is on the floor. He's still breathing, but bro is down. And Roris is like, nice. Yeah.
That went pretty well.
Yeah, and Roris runs over and he grabs the guard's feet and starts dragging him further into the little alley you guys are in.
Yeah, I help, and then let's get the armor off and
yeah, so you two...
I'm doing all the clasps and stuff.
Yeah, you two start stripping this dude
What kind
down.
of armor does he have on?
It's a chain shirt,
Ooh.
and he's got a little shield.
Heavy?
No, chain shirt is medium.
Thank God, alright.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I think it's medium. Yeah, chain shirt's medium armor.
I'd start putting all that stuff on while Roris is hopefully sort of starting to take it off.
Yeah, he's pulling off the dudes because there's like a specific, like the color of the shirt he has underneath, and there's like a specific helmet, and he's got a shield with the symbol of Penrith, which is those intertwined snakes. Like he's taking all that stuff off, and Roris is starting to bind the dude's hands with some rope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help with that endeavor.
Okay. So you bind this dude up, you tie his hands together, you tie his legs together. Roris rips off a part of his undershirt and tries to like fashion it into some kind of gag. And he's like, we gotta hide this guy, but we can't do it where like no one's gonna find him. Because I'd feel super bad if no one found this guy.
What we could do... How close are we to Harold's house?
You're currently at the edge of the ridgeway. Harold... Remind me who Harold is?
Harold was the magic user guy with
with the tunnel under his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you're about maybe a 15-minute jog away. If you're encumbered by carrying a person, depending on your strength check, you could still do it. It would take longer if you're not great.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I'd want...
Rora says, I can take him over. Me and Skullcrusher, we can get him over there if you want to go in and see about getting our friends out.
Yeah, I think that would be good, and I need you to take this, and I present him with basically all of my things.
Basically everything you own. Rora's accepts
Because
it.
I want just what the guard had.
Right.
Whatever weapon he had, what weapon was that?
He has a... He has a spear.
Great.
It is a, It's a 1d6 plus 1 piercing damage.
Well, plus my strength.
Plus your strength. But it's a plus 1 spear. It's a nice spear.
Oh, plus 1 plus strength.
Yeah. Bro,
I'm keeping that.
This is a good spear. It's good stuff.
That's mine now.
Okay. So Roris is like, okay, I'll take all this. I'll keep it. We'll go to Harold's. I'll put this guy in the... I'm not gonna
put him in the cellar.
Yeah, I'll put him in the cellar. I'll keep an eye on him for a bit.
I figure that's how we get out of town later.
Yeah, probably.
We can then. Probably.
Okay. Do you want any backup going in there? Like, I can't... You could be like... I don't know, like... Crying child going in. I don't know if you want that or if you want to... Scout it out first.
It may be more believable. The thing is... I mean, they know that the two of us escaped.
Right.
And I fear that if I came in, even if you were posing as a crying child, it would be easier to figure out.
That makes sense. Yeah. We don't want to be too recognizable.
Like, I mean, it's up to you. Either keep an eye on this guy in the cellar or come and keep an eye once you're done.
Okay. How about I'll wait an hour. I'll wait an hour in the cellar. If you guys haven't shown up by then, I'll come looking for you.
Sounds good.
Okay. And tuck your beard in a little bit more. You're still looking dwarfy.
Okay, good. My AC doesn't change. I take the beads, the various beads of dwarven runes that I have in my beard out, just hating myself a little bit with each one I take out.
Oh, buddy.
I give them to Roris. In case, keep these safe for me.
Roris carefully puts them into the breast pocket of his little vest. And he says, I'll watch out for him. And he ties the bound man. He gets 2 ropes, and one's tied to the saddle Skullcrusher has on. The other Roris holds himself, and he's got all of your stuff like in a pack. He's holding on to that too. And he says, all right, I'll see you in an hour. And then he and Skullcrusher start jogging over to the Rosestone District, dragging this dude behind them. They're not going super fast, but bro's probably going to have a little road rash.
All right, now I make my way back to the
guard house. Okay.
Yeah, guardhouse.
Okay.
What would I know, if anything, about sort of the guard hierarchy in this town, Penrith?
Okay, so you know that there are different levels of guard, and that generally is denoted by the color of their uniform. The guard captain, for instance, has black stripes along his undershirt. Like, there's the chain shirt you're wearing over, and you're wearing like an auburn rusty shirt underneath. It gets progressively more red the higher up you get, with the guard captain wearing a red shirt with black stripes around it.
So I would be like middle of the road.
You're kind of like, yeah, the newbie guards are wearing total brown. And you're kind of just like your regular old middle of the road hardworking guard dude. The guards who are guarding the guardhouse are wearing similar colored shirts. For everybody else who was part of the interrogation, the interrogator was wearing a red shirt.
Ah, okay.
Fun facts. Red shirt. No stripes, but a red shirt. But Therius does not know this because he has never seen this man before.
This feels very much like a reference to me, knowing you.
It was not! But you know what? I can make the guards red shirts if I want to. Fight me. Anyway, so if you recall that the guards, and you also recall, I don't remember what the actual guard captain's name was because you did meet him at one point, so I'm gonna make up a new one. You did meet the guard captain of Penrith earlier in your travels, and his name was Jadar Lackman.
Jadar Lackman.
When did we meet him?
It was earlier on when you were coming. It was actually earlier on, technically today, when we were coming into the city. The guard captain was at the gate supervising people coming in, as they were stamped as magic users or not.
And do I think he's still probably in that area?
You have no idea. He's probably, because that's where the majority of the people were. Like, there's still people around the gate trying to get out, and the gate's closed off.
Mm-hmm.
He might still be there. You have no idea. You didn't see him anywhere around.
It's not going to go well.
It's gonna go as well as you think it will.
I do not believe in myself.
Believe in your dreams! Anywho, that's what you remember.
My dream is to escape the city. Darius was tempted to just leave with Roris and go on a bro venture forever.
Dude, just abandon the magic users overall.
Bye forever.
Goodbye forever. Alright, so... Not endearing yourself to the rest of the party. Okay, so...
Say, one of them is jerk, 2 of them are meh, so meh.
So you remember that the guards were wearing also rusty shirts, rusty auburny shirts. around the guardhouse. You remember that the guard who was driving the carriage was wearing a brown shirt. You know that the more red the shirt is, the higher in the hierarchy the guard.
All right. So as soon as I get close, as soon as I'm like probably 2 blocks away, I just start taking off at a jog down the main road.
Okay. So
out in the open.
You're out in the middle of the street. You're jogging towards the main. I want you to make me a performance check to be guardly, to look like a guard.
12.
Bro, you are so lucky. Okay, so the guards at the door see you coming, and they straighten up a little bit, but they don't seem like alarmed by your presence. You jog up to them and they say ho.
Oh, I have a message from Captain Jackman to deliver.
Lackman.
Lackman?
His name's Lackman,
Okay.
not Jackman. Sorry, I don't want this to be another wizard thing.
Wizards!
It's
Lackman.
Lackman.
Okay, Lackman.
Yeah, he's not Hugh Jackman. Okay, so roll a deception check for that.
You can make him Hugh Jackman.
I
Can
could.
I have because, well, that's not bad. Can I have advantage because I'm dressed as a guard?
No.
Yeah, alright. 13. Right? Yeah.
Okay, so you say you have a message from Captain Lackman. The guards seem to accept this. They nod and they're like, "Oh, well, go ahead, go on in."
Stop
And then one
jogging.
stops you. One stops you. He puts his hand on your shoulder right as you're about to go through the door, and he says, "What's it like? I hear that they're almost rioting down at the gate."
I was down there. It was pretty calm. But they are amassing, certainly. It's somewhat concerning. There are not as many of us as there are of them anymore.
Definitely not. Well, all right, hurry up. And he lets you in. And you enter the main room is like it's very square, it's very plain, very Spartan. It's a main room and there's like 2 guards off to the side of the door. They're conversing with themselves. They look in when you come in, but they don't really seem to take any notice of you. Their shirts are more of a brick red color, so more red than yours is. But they seem to accept your presence. You see down the hallway, you see bars on the right-hand side of the wall, just like a row of them along the hall wall, and you see doors along the other side. None of the doors are open, and you can't see anyone in any of the cells because you're too far back.
Okay. Do I see, like, speed anywhere or anything like that?
You do make a perception check.
You do make a perception check. Okay.
Perception check.
17.
You see some keys on the belt of one of the guards. He's a taller, brown-haired man. He seems to be in his maybe mid-30s. He does not seem pleased with the situation. He's talking in hushed tones to the other guard, muttering stuff about freaking foreigners in the city and all this trouble that they've gone through and all that kind of thing.
Okay.
As of now, you only see 2 guards. Sorry?
Oh,
Oh, I thought Daniel raised his hand.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm saying, how long is this all taking? It's enough time for a short rest.
Okay, I want to say, sure. It has been enough time between you guys being brought here and the various interrogations. It has been a short rest. It only has been maybe about, 5 minutes or so since Flower's interrogation ended. You guys are stewing in your cells. And, yeah, so it's been enough for a short rest. If you want to roll to get hit points back, feel free. And Therius, that includes you. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're messed up or not. I remember you being pretty okay.
I'll roll one.
I remember Roris didn't take a single freaking hit since the Eminence fight.
Yeah. I took all those bolts, but I was raging, so I'm good. I rolled one. I'm back to full.
Cool.
Is everybody done with that?
Yeah.
God, I still don't know what I'm gonna do. All right. Does the guy with the keys look like he's the one in charge in this room of two?
No, you have no idea. I mean, you could try. He definitely seems like he's speaking to the other man without any sort of, like, not necessarily that he has no respect, but it doesn't seem like he's speaking to an authority figure. The two of them are wearing basically the same colored shirt.
Okay. Sorry. Oh. Yeah, I have a message from Daniel.
Oh yeah, I was just.
Okay.
Are you guys passing notes? What?
No, it's a group chat. You should have gotten it too.
Oh, I probably.
It wasn't a group chat. It was to you, but I can do it in the group chat.
No worries. Don't worry about it.
I walk past them without acknowledging them, seemingly with purpose.
Okay. You walk on by and you see there's 2 empty cells, and then
I would like to try to sleight of hand the keys away.
As you walk by.
Yeah.
Okay, roll freaking sleight of hand, brother. Like, man, okay. We're doing this. Let's see here.
Sleight of hand? Okay. It's not bad. That's 18.
Alright, you try and reach out and you grab the keys. Try to grab the keys as you're passing by, and your fingers touch the keys, and suddenly there's a hand on your wrist. And the other guard...
And go crashing into him.
Oh, snap, okay.
Like pretend I'm losing my balance.
Okay. Roll a deception check.
13.
Alright, you stumble into him. Do you say anything?
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's been a long day. I have a message to deliver, however, from Captain Lockman.
The guard who...
I'll be on my way, and I, start to pull away from him.
The guard who has the keys, he seems to accept us, but the other guard, he's not letting you go. He says, What's your name? What's your station?
Would I know what station I am?
Do you know the guard stations?
The message I have to deliver from the captain is far more important than that. It is urgent and needs to be addressed immediately. Now I'll be on my way, thank you.
Well, no, who are you delivering this to? Who's getting this message from the captain?
It's above your pay grade.
Nothing you have to say is above my pay
As
grade.
big as I can.
You try and... You're 5'5" stature, you try and...
Yeah. But very buff.
You're very buff. You're noticeably ripped. The other... Are you trying to try and intimidate them?
Best I can. I can't be, super too threatening, because otherwise that's not good, but...
Okay, we'll roll for subtle intimidation, then.
Oh, intimidation.
Subtle intimidation.
18.
Okay. Alright, so the guy, he's staring you down a little bit, but you're straightening up, you're giving him a glare, and he kind of lets you go, and he's like, well, fine, well, hurry it up then. And he's giving you kind of he's like eyes on you, he's watching you kind of curiously. The other guard seems to just be kind of like, crap, what's going on? I don't even know. It's the taller of the two, the one who was bad-mouthing everything that happened today.
Can't wait for this day to be done. Goddamn foreigners, I say as I kind of walk off.
Okay, do you continue down the hallway?
I do.
Alright, so you would, as you're passing, you see 2 empty cells, and then you see another cell that has a familiar druid inside of it. And next to that, you can see Silverall in the cell next. You can't see the 3rd cell down.
I
would like I would like everyone else to roll a perception check for me, por favor.
Because I'm so sneaky.
Fuck.
Okay, Kate, what'd you get?
11.
All right, Daniel, what'd you get?
7.
Chelsea, what'd you get?
5.
All right, so
My passive is 13.
Flower recognizes the voice of Therius coming into the room. Silverall and Agnes do not, because despite traveling for 3 weeks with this dwarf and being in life or death situations, you're not too familiar with his voice. He could sound like anything. Maybe he has a falsetto. You're not sure. Flower though,
Darius doesn't talk a whole lot.
true, he is the strong silent type. Flower, however, recognizes Therius as soon as he starts talking, and then you see him wander in complete guard's garb with his trousers rolled up a little bit above his boots right past your cell door.
Flower kind of sits up a little bit and follows him with her eyes. Because it's pretty obvious what he's about to do, and in her mind she thinks, well, 1, good, he's back for us. 2, we're all going to die.
So overall, you can also see this guard, but you do not recognize him right away.
I go over to Silverall's kennel.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Silverall.
What? What's that? What?
Where did
My
they
eyes go wide as I see this thing in front of me.
Where do they take your
And-
things?
What?
Where do they take your things?
I don't know. Christina, I have an idea where they took our things.
You were removed of your things before you got into the cart, and you exited the cart before you saw where they were taken.
Would I, having been waiting outside, have seen where they were taken?
Yeah, sure. You saw them. You saw somebody holding packs that are vaguely familiar as your companion's packs, and coming into the building. You don't know where they were taken from there, but you saw them enter the building.
Move quickly. I'm here to get you out. I'm not sure what to do at this point.
Do you have any keys? Do you have...
I have a quick message to deliver to somebody. Is there someone with authority?
Check that door. And I point to the end of the hall.
You point with your hand still shackled. You're like,
Oh,
that.
I nod with my head.
Did you catch a name?
Question, would Flower have known the captain's name?
He is you know the captain of the guard. Yes, all of you know that Jadar Lackman is the captain of the guard, but none of you asked for the interrogator's name.
Whoops.
He wouldn't have given it anyway.
He did not give it. He didn't offer it. None of you asked. So no, you do not know what the interrogator's name is. No one said
The
it.
man who interrogated us is in that room over there. He seems to be the one in charge, but I don't have much more. Not much more.
Okay, I go down and try that door.
Okay, you.
Okay, sorry, Daniel, what?
Oh, I was going to say, meanwhile, while I'm here and resting, is there any, like, thieves' cant or anything written on the walls or anything useful from other people who've been here before?
You do see, like, some initials that are carved into the wall. You see somebody carved into, there's a wooden bench. It's attached to the floor. It's like iron bolted into the floor on the backside of the cell. And someone's carved into it, guards are pigs. But you don't see any thieves' cant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question, would Flower be able to sense any animals?
Do you want, how does that work? Your nature sense. Yeah, you might, Daniel, can you? Thank you. The urgent squeaking from outside the guard tower. Sorry.
Their house right next to the kennels.
I go and I
Sorry, no, Flower, you if you can, I don't know how your nature sense works. You don't sense any dogs nearby. If you were able to sense animals, maybe there's like some vermin like rats and squirrels nearby. There's a couple of birds, but there's no larger creatures. There's nothing in the cell with you, and there's nothing super close.
Okay. Then never mind.
I mean, you would be able to, if you can. I don't know how far your range is. There is a horse or two in the building next door.
Okay. But there's nothing immediate that I can use, so
No.
it's cool.
Yeah. All right. So, Therius, continue.
I go to. Is there any other doors in the hallway other than the one that Silverall pointed to?
There are 4 doors in total. The one he pointed to is the one at the very end on the left-hand side of the hall. There are 3 other doors. They all look fairly identical, and they're all closed.
Where are the 3 other doors?
They're
located?
all leading. They're all like along the left-hand wall. There's one fairly close to the entrance of the hallway, in sight of the 2 other guards. There's one a little bit further down, and one a little bit further down from that. They're all evenly spaced.
There are the cells on this side, and then the doors on this side?
Yes.
I try the door across from Silverall's cell.
Okay. So, door 2 or 1? Or 2 or 3? Because there's 2
2.
technically across. Okay, so you try door number 2. Do you want to be stealthy about it?
Yes.
Okay, we'll roll me a stealth check then.
I'll be right back.
Natural 20.
Okay, you are the stealthiest you've ever been in your life. Silverall, for a brief second, blinks and doesn't see you, and then blinks again. It's like, oh, okay.
I think I can.
You carefully turn the doorknob, and you creak it open a little bit, and you see stairs going up.
I close it and try door number 3.
Okay, you sneak over to door number 3, and you're now fully in view of Agnes from that cell. And you open that door, or you try to. You put your hand on the doorknob, and you jiggle it a little bit, but it seems to be locked.
If I sort of put my ear to it and listen, can I hear anything?
You put your ear to it. Give me a perception check.
Perception, -1. God, 13.
You hear nothing. For all you can tell, it's dead quiet past the door.
Is there like any light coming from underneath the door or anything?
Nope. At the end of the hallway, door number 1 opens, and another. Sorry?
I begin walking toward the end of the hall.
Okay. Door number 1 opens, and another guard you don't see, but you can hear another person walk out. They don't seem to be paying you any attention. They start walking towards the front of the building. You walk towards the end of the hall, and there is the 4th door. This one does have light coming in. It doesn't seem darker on the other side of it from underneath. It's closed. Door is closed.
I try it.
The door is open. The knob turns. Do you pull it open?
Open the door.
All right, you open the door. The door opens inward. And inside is a man. He is a human man with a black and graying beard. And he's writing some stuff down on paper, and he looks up at you. His brows furrow confusion. He said, "What do you want? I'm busy."
I understand. I have an important message from Captain Lackman, and I shut the door behind me.
Oh, snap. Okay. And he says, all right, we'll roll me a deception check.
15.
Okay. All right. Well, what is it? Hurry up, man.
May I approach?
Just tell me what the message is.
I approach him and whack him in the butt of my sword.
Oh, snap. Okay. Roll to hit. And again, you have
Which
advantage
one?
because it is a surprise. Yes, you have advantage.
All right, orange babies, don't fail me now.
That would suck if it did.
It's a 17.
Okay. Hold on. Where's the guard stuff? Sorry, I have to find.
Not good advantage. Bad dice.
Okay. Okay. So you hit.
I'm doing non-lethal damage, by the way.
Good job.
Okay.
Good citizen. So you're hitting him with the spear?
Yeah, the butt of it.
Okay.
So 9 damage.
All right. So he tips back out of his chair and he's very startled. He lets out a cry. He is not unconscious. He quickly
Immediately attack him again.
Well, roll for initiative now, bro. You
All right.
started this.
Fuck. All right, fuck. No, I don't. That's not bad. 19.
Okay, you go first. So he's fallen back out of his chair. He's let out a loud cry.
Is he prone?
He is indeed prone on the floor.
I whack him again.
All right, roll to hit.
With advantage because he's prone.
Yeah.
Better. That's higher. 21.
All right. Well, you done hit him again.
Also non-lethal.
Yeah.
Still with the butt of the 11 damage.
Okay, so that's a total of how many so far? 20?
Yes.
Yeah, because it was 9 first, then 11. Okay. He's still up. He scrambles to his feet, and he pulls what appears to be a dagger.
I also
Yeah, keep going.
want to use my tavern brawler feet and punch him in the face.
All right. Punch him in the face. Roll the hit. Technically, he's still prone if you're doing this within the same thing. You done hit the man.
Oh wait, yeah, so 22. 6 damage.
Okay, he's getting up. He's trying to get to his feet. You just slug him in the face, and bro goes down. He hits the floor, and he is out. Out in the hallway,
One day.
you hear footsteps.
I'll grab the papers that he has on the desk and start searching him for keys or something.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
Not great. 7.
Okay, you are very lucky that he had a pair of keys on his belt. You find on his belt, you find a set of keys. It's got about 5 keys on it and a dagger in its sheath.
I grab them. I grab the dagger, and then what do I hear in the hallway?
Footsteps. You hear approximately like 2 or 3 people walking down the hallway. They seem to be rushed. You hear someone say, "Oi, what's up? What's happening?"
I come out into the hallway.
Okay.
And I say,
the 3 guards, and they come a little bit to a short stop upon seeing you.
He's collapsed. He needs help.
The interrogator?
Yes. Quick, go get help.
And
I start.
And one starts running past you to the door. What do you do? Or first, actually, roll for deception. I should, because you're trying to fake these guys out.
Okay. +0. 17.
All right, so one guy starts running by you towards the door. These are the freaking most gullible guards I have ever rolled in my life. What were you doing?
I run in with him.
Okay.
To help.
Okay. So they see.
We'll be here soon, so I'll be leaving for a minute and coming right back.
Okay. So you.
With guards equipment, will I have any sort of healing stuff?
No. You, on your person, you have basically just your weapons. The other guard had a small coin purse on him. I don't know if you took that? Or not?
No, I wouldn't steal his money.
Okay. So he had a small coin purse on him. He had his spear. He basically just only had that on him. He didn't have any sort of potions.
Okay, so one guard went back into the room. What are the other two doing?
The other two, you said go for help. So one's turning to run out of the room. The other one is basically just in the hall, confused as to what's happening, but he's staying put. So there's the older guard that was the one who caught you trying to grab the keys, has run into the room. The taller guard, the racist guard, was standing in the hallway, confused as to what to do. And the third guard, who you had not seen before but you heard enter the room, has just run out.
Okay. The one that's standing in the hallway, I say, go! He needs help. Go, get in there.
Oh, someone has to watch the prisoners.
I can take that.
Okay. And
They're in cells. How hard will it be? I'm no good at healing.
And he rushes in after the first guard.
I immediately start opening their cells.
You have 5 keys. And
Okay.
there are 5 cells.
I start trying keys and keeping track as best I can.
Okay. I don't know what to roll. Make you roll for that. Because you would be getting lucky. Roll me a d20. Just roll me a random d20.
Just the flat number?
Just the flat number.
13.
Okay, so you start putting things in keys hurriedly, and it takes you a couple times, but you find the key to whose are you starting with?
I'm starting with Flower.
Okay, so you start with Flower, and you're trying the key to her cell, and you figure.
Well, who's closest to me at the end of the hallway where I am?
End of the hallway would be Agnes close to you.
Okay, I start with Agnes.
Fuck yeah!
So you start with Agnes, and you're trying to open the cell up, and you find the key, and you open the cell, and her door opens.
Okay, I hand her the keys and say, get the rest out, and I go to the door where the other 2 guards were and just wait, and if they're going to come out, I'm going to hit them.
The door is open.
Right, so I'm just, like, standing outside, like, keeping an eye on what they're doing.
We're also all manacled.
They are also all manacled, but Agnes still, she has hands, she can take the keys, but her hands are barred behind her back with a rigid iron bar in between.
Oh, they're behind my back?
They're behind your back. They're not in the front.
Can I try the keys on the manacles?
Yeah, roll again. Roll another d20.
Natural 20.
First try. Boom. One of the keys. It's smaller. You have an inkling. This looks like the right key, and you pop it in the manacles. Opens. First try.
Awesome. I'm gonna open whoever's next to me.
Yeah, now I'll give her the keys, and I go and watch the door. If anyone comes out, I'm going to attack them.
Okay, Agnes, roll a d20. Next to you is Silverall.
Okay, I got silver all in.
All right.
8.
8? All right, you're trying keys, but none of them seem to be the right one. Therius, in the room, you see that the guards are kneeled down next to the interrogator, who's unconscious, and his face is kind of messed up, because you not only hit him with a spear, but you twice, but you also punched him. The guy does not look like he just fell over. The guy looks like he's been beat up. So the guards are instantly alarmed, and the taller of the 2 immediately turns to you and says, "Hey, wait a second!" And he starts coming at you, and he's pulling
I'll grab the door and hold it shut.
hold the
Wait,
door
what?
shut, and you make a strength check. The door opens inward.
I rage.
So, what did you get?
The
The strength check.
22.
All right. So immediately you feel a shove. Someone smacks against the door, and the doorknob starts rattling. But you are holding it tight, and you hear another very alarmed voice, and they're banging against the door. Agnes, roll me another d20.
7.
God damn
You're
it!
still going, but you freaking can't get the key. There's only 5 of them, but for some reason, it's just like, which one is it? And you're panicking because you can hear the banging against the doors.
18!
All right, you finally get it. You find the right key, and it's the same one that you saw Therius used to open your cell door. And you stick it in, you turn it, and it's so opens. I mean,
I run over and I
banging against the door, but there's still
push my hands out towards Agnes.
Open the fucking door!
You're to what? You're going
I
for
shove in the keys. I'm like, get it!
And I
His
turn
hands
my
are
hand
manacled.
toward Agnes.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I gotta...
Yeah, use the small one.
Okay. I'm gonna use the small one.
Okay.
Does that work?
You try to use the small one. It does not fit in these manacles. They're different from yours.
Okay.
There's only 2 keys left.
Guys, I rolled a 1!
Oh, you dropped Agnes. Agnes is freaking out. She drops the keys. And
Well,
they're
we
just like
didn't break them.
they skitter across the floor into Soverall's cell.
You mean
Uh,
flowers?
No, Soverall's cell. Excuse you. The banging on the door continues, but it does not give yet.
Oh,
There's
thank God.
angry guards pounding. You get
Pick up the
you,
keys. Try again.
you pick the keys up. You're going again.
Just
You get it. You finally get it. There's a slightly bigger key. It's a little bit smaller than the other two, but bigger than the small one. It's a middling key. You pop it in. You open. The manacles fall off his wrists.
Thanks. Therius, do you have a dagger?
I
I
do.
can borrow. Can I borrow it?
I'm not I jet my hip out basically.
I run over there and grab his dagger out of his hip belt.
Okay.
Could I not be left behind again?
Agnes, get the door. Silverall, check this locked door, please.
I run over to the locked door and I
One, I want to see traps in it.
Okay.
first I check it for traps. Yeah.
Okay. Roll to check for traps. That would be an investigation check.
I'm
I'm
guessing
gonna
they're
roll to open flower cell.
Uh,
I gotta roll
5.
again!
You drop the keys again! Your hands are so sweaty! You're so freaked out! There's guards pounding on the door and you think that there's more coming. You got, what did you get? For 5?
A 5. There are no traps.
You don't think there are any traps.
I listen to the door. Do I hear anyone on the other side?
Of that door, the locked one, no, you don't hear anything. Won't make you roll for a perception check. You don't hear
All right.
anything.
I will.
11.
Oh,
You're trying keys, man. You're trying to do it, but you just can't. Even though the other key was the same one you used to unlock 2 cells, you just can't seem to find that one again because you're butterfingers.
so within like a small pocket within my pants, assuming I didn't find it, I
Okay.
take out my thieves' tools.
I want you to roll a. Let's roll a stealth check to see if you hid them well enough. Originally.
Okay.
We'll retcon that.
Sounds
So,
good. That would be a.
2 3s, a 4, and a 15.
Okay, so you are basically stabbing the lock with every key,
Oh,
and then finally you remember that it was the same key that unlocked the other 2 cells, and you tried that one, and the cell opens.
Okay.
So that would have been a 23 for the stealth.
Okay, so you hid those lockpicks. You almost like keistered them. They're so well hidden. No one knows they're there. You pull them on out.
All right, and now I try to lock the door.
All right, roll to unlock the door. Agnes, I'm assuming you're trying to undo Flower's manacles.
Yep, with a different dice.
Use the
Okay.
small. Use the small.
You haven't changed your dice yet?
No, I did. This is the 4th dice I'm on.
Therius, you're still holding the door pretty well. You are hodoring the crap out of
11.
this.
So, Christina,
Yes.
for the unlocking the door,
Yes.
dexterity,
Do a sleight of hand.
oh, sleight of hand
Sleight of hand.
I rolled
will
a
also work.
Chelsea's so mad. Therius is shouting from the end of the hall, use the small one!
22.
Yes.
Okay, you definitely undo the lock, and the door, you can hear the tumblers clicking, and you hear the lock give. Do you try and open the door?
I try to open the door. Yeah.
Okay, so you open the door inward, and I'm gonna want you to make a dexterity check.
Fuck.
Oh, fuck. 10.
Okay, 10 flat.
10 total.
Okay.
Oh, is it a saving throw or a check?
It's a saving throw. You can roll a saving throw.
Yeah, it's a 10.
Man. All right. So you do
I
not,
rolled this many.
bro. You do not dodge the mallet that comes swinging down and freaking smacks you in the face. Let me roll for damage on that. You have 6 damage done to you, bludgeoning, as a mallet swings down from the ceiling through the door and just baps you across the room.
Bap.
Baps. You get bapped.
Ow!
Agnes, what did you follow Theris' advice? Did you keep trying keys? You're muted.
I rolled a 1!
You drop the keys again. They skitter across the floor and they.
I run over and I use my lockpicks and just try to unlock the.
roll sleight of hand.
What was
Unlocking Flowers' manacles at this point. I unlocked her door.
You unlocked her door, but you kept trying. You didn't say that you used a specific key. You just kept trying different keys, and then you dropped them. Okay.
Flower's doing her best to look calm, but she's starting to be slightly more agitated.
Darius is feeling pretty good about his Hodor abilities. Like, this is the thing he's good at.
Man, you were holding it so freaking well. Like, they're trying to pull the door open. They're banging against it. You hear, like, a hacking sound of them trying to go through the door, but that door ain't budging. Flower, you are still in manacles. The lockpicks, you can't seem to get it.
Damn.
Agnes has retrieved the keys, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Could we maybe have the rogue try this? Or, you know, you try another key?
Use the small one!
I'm gonna use the small one!
You use the small key, and you put it in, and you turn it, and the manacles fall off.
Okay.
Oh my god. I hate iron.
Alright.
You're all free.
Oh, I run over to the door and I attempt to lock the door from this side.
The door to the interrogation room?
Yeah.
Okay, roll to reverse lockpick.
That's better. That's a 21.
Okay, you managed somehow. You don't even think the door's supposed to work this way, but you get those lockpicks in there, and you hear a little click.
Alright.
And by now there's 3 angry voices in the room. The older man seems to have woken up, and they're all shouting and pounding on the door.
Flower, can you do anything here? Can you throw up some wall or something?
The locked door, who's next to it? The one
The
that
locked door?
where the mallet swung down.
I was, and then I ran away from it, so no one's by it right now.
Okay. Just double checking.
There's no plan.
What is our plan of escape?
What? After the hammer hit him, did Soverall see anything in that room?
Did Soverall look? Also, I don't know, Kate, if you can hear us, but you're done frozen.
Yeah. No, I did not look in the room because I got hit with a hammer, and then I looked over as I was getting up and saw that the keys were flying everywhere in Flower's room, and so I ran over there to help.
All right, we need to go.
We need to go now. Yes, I agree.
Everyone who's near, just everyone roll a perception check.
11.
10.
10.
17.
I lied. 10.
Okay, we don't know what Flower got because Kate done froze. So overall, you see as you're moving past the door, beyond the mallet is rows of shelves that appear to have various items on them.
Go get your shit.
Oh shit! Yeah, I think our stuff's in there, and then I run into that room.
Okay, you slip by the mallet, and you do see rows of what appear to be like various, maybe confiscated things. It's just like a whole bunch of random ass stuff, but you do see your packs are up against the wall.
Yep. I run to my pack, grab my pack, take my rapier specifically, and then do that as fast as possible so that I can spend time in here, probably 15 to 30 seconds, and look to see if there's anything else worth taking.
Okay.
I was about to say, I followed overall in and I'm doing the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'd like to.
Anyone who's going into the room, Flower, you saw this all happen, so you can also go into the room. I would like
Flower,
you
can
all.
you for her? Oh wait, she's right there.
Yeah, no, Kate's back.
What happened?
I'm looking for potions or a battle axe because I feel really naked without my battle axe.
I would like you all to give me investigation checks.
Investigation.
Investigation, because you're specifically looking for stuff.
16.
Okay, I'll just call you out because people shouting
Yes!
and I can't hear it. Kate, what'd you get?
12.
All right. Jen, what'd you get?
16.
15?
16. 1 6.
16. Okay. Daniel, what'd you get? Cat!
18.
Chelsea, what did you get?
15.
Okay, so overall, you find not only your own stuff, you find a satchel of what appears to be some sort of like powdery substance. It smells very strongly, maybe like fungusy. You're not super sure. You also find a jeweled dagger. It's fancy. It's like in some sort of thing. It's just a fancy looking dagger. Agnes, you find what appears to be like a mallet, maybe, and some sort of it's a pack full of assorted things. It's just looks like some sort of traveler's pack, and it's got like an extra pair of clothes in it, stuff like that.
Is this on top of my stuff?
On top of your stuff? You see your stuff immediately. You found this other pack.
Okay, I grabbed all that shit.
You found all that stuff. Therius, you're specifically looking for an axe. You said.
Yeah, or anything that like looks potiony.
Okay.
Looking.
Okay. So overall's distracted by his fancy dagger. You find a axe. It's a small hand axe. It's not like a war axe or anything fancy like that. And you do find a couple of random bottles, but they don't appear to be particularly potiony. You think they might be alcohol.
I take them.
You take the alcohol. Cool.
And the hand axe.
And the hand axe. Okay. +1 hand axe. And then Flower, you got a 12, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. You find what appears to be another set of clothes. They're sort of like dirty, but they look like they were nice once. And rolled up in a little like fabric beside them are a couple of candles.
Okay, let's take that, because,
Okay.
you know, looking different than I do now might be useful in getting out.
Sure. So those are the things you find in a quick cursory look around the room.
Is that a mallet?
There is a mallet hanging above the door.
I mean, I'm gonna grab it, but I don't think I can.
You can try and dismantle the trap, but that will take time.
Yeah, no, we're
Oh,
getting it.
no, I thought you said I found one that
Oh, no, yeah, that's right. You find a small hand mallet. It has like a reddish stain on one end of it.
I'm gonna take it.
All
We're
right.
stealing evidence, aren't we?
Maybe. This might be an evidence locker. You don't know. You can only assume.
And I'm out of here. We're leaving now.
Okay, let's go.
Sarge.
Yeah. I look back at the room and just look at it longingly, and I run out after them.
Did you not grab the stuff?
No, I grab the stuff, but
Yeah.
then I also, as they're leaving,
There
I
was
look
other
at what's
stuff.
still there longingly, and like, I want to spend another minute here, but we should definitely go.
As you're running out of the room, you hear a thunderous boom against the door on the very end of the hallway that shakes on its shakes on its hinges. It doesn't give, but it's creaking, and it's like wood on the edge of giving. And you start to hear footsteps coming down stone stairs. It sounds like.
Boom. I'm like dashing. I'm sprinting.
All right.
Can I please
Dashing
do
as well.
something centered on the door?
You would like to do what on the door?
A spell centered on the door?
Which one?
With the stairs.
The one that's banging.
Okay, the one. At the
Oh,
end of the
actually,
hall?
the hallway. Sorry.
What?
The one that's at the end of the hall.
Yes.
Okay. What would you like to do to the door?
Spike growth.
How long does that take?
It's a druid spell. It's an action.
Okay, so you cast spike growth, and that, if I believe correctly, it causes like spikes to come out of the ground.
Yep. So basically, I want it up against the doors, and it might also come up on the other side too.
What's the
So there's
radius?
just spike. 20-foot radius.
Okay, so you cast this, and you see in like almost a circle centered on the door around the hallway, just like you guys are just because you're running outside of this radius. You see like little spikes start to sprout up out of the stone, like little stone spikes, and you hear noises of alarm coming from the inside of the door.
Oh no.
And y'all book it, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It can't kill them. It can damage them, but probably not kill them.
You
Probably
hope.
not.
Okay, so you're running out.
Bludgeoned to almost death.
You start running out. What's the order? I'm assuming Therius is first because he said he's running first.
And then I'll go second.
Okay.
I'll go third.
All right, Flower's holding up the rear. Flower, as you're running past the first door in the hall, it starts to open.
Hold person
You cast Hold Person.
on whoever's directly behind the door.
Okay, do you have to be able to see them?
I don't think so.
I think you
It
do.
might say a creature within your sight.
Yeah, that I can see within range. So never mind.
Okay,
I also
so
think that whole person it would be concentration as well, so you might not be able to have that up with the spikes, depending on what you're doing.
I don't think Spikes is concentration, is it?
It's concentration.
Okay, so then yeah, you wouldn't be able to have both at the same time anyway.
Okay, never mind. Let's just keep running.
Okay, you keep sprinting. You hear a noise of "Hey, what?" behind you as you're all booking it out the door.
Oh, we're out the door? Never mind.
You're out the. You want to do something before you leave?
I was gonna put that guy to sleep, but if we're out the door, fuck it.
Yeah, you're like basically there. Therius, as you burst through the door first, you see the two guards that were there when you originally came into the building are still there. They didn't seem to be able to hear this alarm, but they're sort of a little bit on edge because that one guard ran out to go get help. They turn to you looking surprised, but not necessarily like immediately attacking you because you're still dressed as a guard, but then Soverall comes out behind you. And they pull their weapons, and they're just like, "Wait, hey!"
I keep running.
You keep running.
As soon as we get out,
Yeah.
Knowing my knowledge of the city, do I know if there are any safe houses nearby? Anywhere we might be able to run to get away from the guards?
Roll me a what would you roll? Give me just an intelligence check.
Okay.
So as we're running away,
14.
14. Okay, sorry. What were you saying, Chelsea?
hang on one second. Let me look.
Okay. You know, this is the Rosestone district. You know, like there's a couple of taverns that have like sort of hidden cellars in a sense that you might be able to hold it up in. You know that there are some areas a little further off that lead more towards the wall, which you know is hollow, that you could get inside of. And you know that about maybe a little closer to 10 minutes away from here is Harold's house, which has the cellar underneath it.
Okay. Are there the taverns are closer than 10 minutes, though?
One of them is, yes.
Okay,
Chelsea,
I will lead us there.
Okay, Chelsea, what are you saying?
Behind me, where the two guards behind us, because we're running, where the two guards are. I'm casting sleep.
Okay,
As a second.
roll to cast sleep. I'm assuming it's centered in like the middle of them.
Yeah. I just have to roll points.
Yep, you gotta roll good points. Do your best, friend.
Um, $28.
Okay, both guards, they're running after you. They're almost like basically they would have just grabbed Flower because she's at the tail end of the thing. You spin around and you cast sleep, and both guards just kind of like almost freeze in place and then go slack and ragdoll to the floor. They're on the ground asleep.
When Flower feels just the brush of hands just behind her, she's gonna turn into a lion.
All right, Flower is now a lion. Flower,
It
how many
increases my speed from 30 to 50.
how many hit points does a lion have?
26?
Okay, you're good. So you are a very awake lion, and you are now outpacing Agnes.
Great.
And so overall, you're second in line, and I'm assuming is showing like go that way, and trying to direct.
I will. Since we've gotten out, I will get ahead of Therius.
You're gonna have to try because Therius can book it. Therius
Can
has
I-
got thunder
Well,
thighs.
So I wouldn't be like just sprinting abandoning them. I'd be sticking close enough.
Okay.
Right, and also, since I can use dash as a bonus action, if I'm not doing anything else, I can also have Thunder Thighs.
That is true. Your thighs are up to the task of catching up. So you
Yeah.
overtake.
I would like to do a thing as a lion, and that's basically do an alley-oop under Agnes, so now she's on my back.
Okay, roll me Agnes, roll acrobatics for me, and
Oh, sweet.
Flower, I want you. Yeah, both of you give me acrobatics checks.
19.
17.
Okay, so despite never having performed this motion before, you rush up behind Agnes as I'm assuming, fully grown lioness.
Yep.
In that you are approximately 10 feet long and 3 feet tall, and you sort of like stick your head below her legs and push up with your shoulders, and she sort of goes with the motion and tumbles back, giving a little jump, and just lands square on your back, sort of crouched forward, holding the hairs around your neck, and you keep running up to the other two. What's your
Everyone there is just to look over and see this.
What's your speed in this form again? You said it was 60?
50.
50. Okay, so you are easily pacing the other two.
Oh, I'm slowest now.
It sucks when Roars isn't here, right? Because usually he's back in the pack. So yeah, Soverall is leading the charge towards this tavern in the Rosestone district. It's maybe, if at this speed, it's 3 minutes away. It's not too far.
All right.
You don't see any guards behind you, but you're hearing sounds of commotion as you leave the guard house and your desk.
So, ideally, since running straight there in the middle of the street probably not the best idea, since we have a line with us,
Yeah.
we'll be trying to take us through alleyways and the like that I know of that can get us back there without being seen as easily.
All of you roll stealth checks. It's going to add a little bit more time to your pursuit, but you're going pretty quick.
14.
15.
Seeing if I get bonus as stealth with a lion.
18 for me.
Okay, so I doubt you get bonuses of stealth for a lion, just saying.
Actually, I do. It's +6.
Oh snap, stealthy lion. That's right, you are pack hunters. I should have remembered that.
Yep. I'm a 17. Also, if we get into a fight, we can flank.
Oh snap. Bro, why are you always not having a lion? So
I don't know, but we might start doing this more often.
let me just okay. So you all are sneakily running. You're all doing a very excellent job of being particularly stealthy. Agnes, your job is made a little bit easier by the fact that you don't really have to move. You just have to hold on and not say too much. But it isn't the most comfortable of rides. You're used to horses, not to lions. So you're weaving in and out of alleyways. They seem kind of abandoned as a whole because you know that generally speaking, no one's in their homes anymore. And
Can we pass one cabbage merchant?
you do not pass any cabbage merchants. They would all be at the gate on one side or the other. You cannot sabotage any cabbage merchants, I'm sorry to say. You don't hear any sounds of pursuit from behind you. Things start getting quiet. Things start getting eerily quiet. It's sort of quiet you heard like in the wake of the demon attack earlier. You don't think there's anything coming. You don't feel like that tension in the air, but it's just this place is like a ghost town right now. And eventually you
Bonuses to perception, especially anything regarding smells.
all right. You smell nothing.
Okay.
You maybe smell like the remnants of horse dung in the streets. You smell like no one nearby. You don't smell the fresh sense of humanity, but you do smell like people were here.
Yeah.
And as you're making it through, you see a tavern coming up called, it's called Paradise, is the name of the tavern. And it seems to be like an upstanding, fancy kind of place.
What's the name of this tavern's owner?
You don't know. What are you, I don't even know what you're assuming from that, Kate. I honestly don't. It's just called Paradise.
What's the name of Lucifer's tavern in Lucifer?
It's called Lux.
Oh, I'm sorry,
So,
I forgot.
How dare you assume I'd be bringing that obsession of mine into this campaign. There is...
In everything?
Shush. There is a tavern called Paradise. It looks very nice. It's a very upscale place. It appears to be barred, the door. But, so overall, you're fairly familiar with this tavern. You've been here once or twice.
Is there any other way in other than the front door?
Briefly,
Sorry, yes?
briefly, shortly after we had left the jail and hopefully well before we got here, I would have tried to ditch as much of the things I have with guard insignia as possible.
Okay, so you drop the shield. You said you were keeping the spear. The helmet goes. Or it's basically just the helm and the shield are the big things that have it. You have some things on your shoulders are called, they're pauldrons, right?
Pauldrons?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Those you take off. Those are marked with the double snake thing. All
You're
of that.
strip running.
You're strip running. You are like a very urgent stripper.
Oh God.
But a dwarf and armored. So you're just leaving those things behind as you go. So overall, you would know there is a back door to this tavern. There is a like a thing in the ground. It's like
A cellar door?
A cellar door in the ground, sort of sunken in on the other side of it. If you go through a little alleyway. And there's a couple of windows around the outside. The front has very large, opulent-looking windows. They have, like, fancy curtains, but they look like some sort of iron grating has been pulled down on the other side of them.
Right. And so the safe room below, that's access to the basement, access through where exactly?
You know from previous experience that you can get to it from inside. If you go through the kitchen, you can get down to the cellar and then to the safe room, which is underneath the cellar.
Okay.
So you also know you can get to it from the cellar if you go in through that way. Also.
Right. So let's go through the cellar doors.
Okay, so you lead everybody around the back of the building. There are some...
Flower's gonna let Agnes off.
Okay, so as you're all stopping, as Silverall goes to deal with the locks on the cellar door, you sort of kneel... Yep. There's locks on the cellar door. So you're gonna have to roll...
I would check it for traps, too.
Oh, smart.
Especially after the last experience.
Okay, so roll an investigation to check for traps.
That would be a natural 20.
Okay, you see some runes that are carved into the handle. You're gonna have to roll an Arcana, but you know to specifically know what it is, but you know that this sort of thing is something that's to deter people, but, like, usually it's triggered by anyone but one person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the kind of thing, like, if you touch the handle and you're not one
Right.
specific person, it'll go off, but you don't specifically know what it is unless you give me an Arcana check.
Right. All right. I will do that really fast. I did poorly, which got a 4, as expected, but at the same time, I wouldn't touch it because
You would
that's
not
dumb.
touch it. Yes, you do know that it is somehow enchanted.
Agnes, can you take a look at these?
Agnes, your mount has offered to let you off.
Okay, I'm gonna get off.
Okay.
And then I
Take a look.
point the rings out to her specifically.
Okay, roll me an Arcana check.
22.
All right, you recognize this as a sort of rudimentary heat metal spell that's been enchanted into it. So the basic idea you think is that if anyone touches this, the iron handles of the cellar door will start to heat up in their hands to an unbearable level.
And I relay that information to my comrades.
Do you know how you can disarm this at all?
I could try and... Let's see. I could try and trigger it with Mage Hand and see if by triggering it, it will allow us to pass afterwards.
Question, did they say if you touch the handles, is what she said?
Yeah.
But just the handles.
Yes, just the handles are
Flower's
ruined.
gonna go as a lion and just kind of put her forepaws on the top of the doors and kind of bounce a bit to see if she can break the wood.
Okay. Roll a strength check. It's done. It's happened. Roll a strength check. You can say something as she's doing this, but it's already happening.
I tried to say stop.
22. Okay, you give it a good solid shove, and you hear you see and hear the wood around one of the hinges on one side just shatter, and the door starts leaning. It's not fully open, but the door starts like leaning in. It looks like there's something on the inside that's keeping it in position other than the hinges, but it's sort of off of the frame.
And Flower kind of looks over her shoulder at them with a very lion,
And
like,
I just glare. We could have just unlocked the door and opened it with mage hands. Now if anyone comes by, they know someone's been here or at least tried to enter here.
she whips her tail a bit.
Do I know any other, like, where's the nearest safe place other than this at this point?
The nearest safe place from this would be Harold's house.
Let's go to Harold's.
That's where Roris is. We should go there anyway.
All right. And then let's head off.
Okay, so all of you roll me another stealth check.
I'm going to use my half an inspiration die.
You can use your half an inspiration die to give you a 1d6 bonus.
A 1d6.
A 1d6 bonus.
I got 9.
Okay.
I am
I got
so
12.
salty.
12, 9. Kate, you're a lion.
24.
Jesus Christ.
Yep, and I got 20.
20. Okay. You all lose track of Flower. You actually don't know where she is, which is kind of startling because she's a lion. Agnes, now that you are on foot, you don't seem as quiet as you did before. And Therius, you're sort of having a hard time staying quiet now too. The adrenaline rush is beginning to wear off. You're not as alert and on it as before. You two are sort of making a lot of noise. Not a lot of noise, but Agnes is making a lot of noise.
Damn.
Let's move quickly.
Yep.
Okay, so you start running. You hear from a block over or so footsteps coming in roughly your direction. But you all you're traveling through the alleyways. You're trying to keep out of sight. You sort of freeze in place, and you see some guards run by the entrance of the alley, and they're headed back towards the direction you were. They don't seem to have any sort of moving with purpose. They're just doing a mass sweep for you guys. And you keep going, you keep moving through, and you eventually get to the district of the Rowstone district that's got all of the houses, the row houses all along that have the big topiaries in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And you find the one that you remember being Harold's house. It doesn't look any different from before. The area around it is still pretty singed up from the original demon attack, but the house itself looks exactly the same as it did. It's been maybe about 45 minutes.
I enter the front door immediately.
Okay.
Or whatever door we're at.
Yep.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Cool. Is it against something I can see?
Yes, it would be.
Okay. That's good, because one was a 2, but the other is a 17. 19.
Okay, so you dodge definitely out of the way as a hand axe flings past your head and embeds itself into the wall. And directly across from you, you see Roris with another one. He's like, "Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I thought you were guards. I heard some coming by. Is everyone?" And then he sort of looks and sees the rest of you behind, and he's just kind of like, "Oh, wait. Flower, is that you?"
Yeah, we need to go.
Lion kind of pads in.
Okay.
Let's go. Come on. No time
Let's
for
go
talk.
down.
Okay. And then you all hurry over to the dining room that's got the trapdoor. The rug's been completely pulled aside. The trapdoor is still open. And down in the wine cellar, you can see by the faint light a very awake, very angry guard that's sitting there with his mouth gagged and his hands bound. And Roris is like, "I think we should leave him in the street. I don't feel right about just leaving him down here. No one's gonna find him if we leave him here. No one's gonna find him.
If we leave him in the street, they'll be on us in minutes.
If we let him go, if we just keep him here, he'll die of starvation or something."
While this
Flower growls a bit low in her throat and then nudges Agnes and then acts like she's sleeping.
I will.
Okay.
I know how to deftly just hit him in the head so he goes unconscious for a few hours. We can throw him upstairs, unbound. We'll be long gone by then.
While this conversation is happening, I'm taking his clothes off and roughly putting them back on him the best I can and redonning him.
Okay, you do your best, but his arms and legs are bound. So
Okay,
basically, his trousers are just on his feet, as high up as they'll go, and his shirt is over his head, but it's over his shoulders, but his hands are bound behind his back, so you can't really.
I lay his pants on top of him and then tie them with his belt or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast sleep.
Okay, roll your sleep points.
Well, let me just. Do I see that she's gonna cast a spell?
You see her getting ready to do some magic mumbo jump.
Oh, I'm gonna tell him, move, just move.
And just give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute, and I just want to collect some alcohol, and I walk back behind him.
Okay, you're in a very fine wine cellar.
Swing my axe again from behind, so he doesn't see it happening, and try to knock him.
All right.
Unusual damage.
All right. Roll to hit with advantage.
Okay. 23.
You hit the man, the tied up man sitting on the floor of this wine cellar, pantsless with a shirt shoved over his shoulders.
14 damage.
Okay, so any strength that he was keeping to keep standing up leaves him, and he immediately, bam, ragdolls to the floor. This dude's gonna have serious brain damage later. A voice in the back of your mind tells you this can't be good for him, but you're not concerned right now.
Flower makes a chuffing noise.
The lioness chuffs.
Agnes shakes her head.
I give Therius a nod of approval.
Do I think that one of the healing potions I have might help brain damage?
You think whatever the healing potion you have, that it will probably help his neurons, but it will also wake him up.
Okay, so I haul him back up after I've got my clothing and everything all back on.
Mm-hmm.
Put him half a block down outside and just tuck one of the little healing potions I have, basically set it on his lap and just write a note saying, "You soon." And then run back inside.
As far as I know, that is the only healing potion you have, isn't it?
I have 2.
All right. Well, you give him 1.
Yeah.
Mark that off.
Goodbye.
You come back in. Everybody's still in the cellar. You see that Roris has changed into his regular garb. He's all armored up again. He's got his various weapons. And he's lowering Skullcrusher via rope into the tunnel. Skullcrusher, as always, does not seem pleased with this because doggies are not meant to be dangling from ropes.
Nope.
But he's lowering the pooch down into the tunnel in the barrel that goes to outside the city.
How far of a drop is it?
How far what?
Of a drop is it?
It's about 15 feet. It's dark as balls down there.
I'm a lion.
You are a lion. Do you have dark vision?
Wait, I might. Damn it, no, I don't.
Okay, it's dark as balls down there. It's a 15-foot drop. There's a ladder.
Flower's gonna go ahead and jump down.
Okay, you do your best. You put your forepaws on the top of the barrel and you sort of just tuck and roll in a way in. You're going face first, but you're gonna need to roll me an acrobatics check to land on your feet. You are a cat though, so you know.
Is that gonna get advantage?
No, but I'm assuming you have a natural acrobatics bonus?
No, just good dex.
Alright, we'll roll for your dex then, to land on your little kitty feetsies.
14.
You manage it. It's not a easy landing. Your joints are a little creaked. Your little kitty forepaws, your giant lioness forepaws, are a little tweaked, but you're in the tunnel. Skullcrusher seems freaking petrified. He is whining and pressed up against the wall. He is not pleased with the giant lion that's in this tunnel with him.
I will go
That
down there as well.
Sigh and turn back into flour.
Okay, Flower turns back into Flower. Skullcrusher looks at her for a bit, and then his tail starts wagging again. And he comes over and he starts like sniffing you and being like, "Oh, hello, friend."
Yeah,
Silverall
him. I have dark vision back now.
Cool. Silverall starts coming down the ladder as well. Roris would follow.
Before I go down, I grab 2 bottles of wine that I think look pretty nice, having like no knowledge about it.
You are so liquored up right now. You have stolen wine from the armory. It's probably moonshine. You don't even know.
Yeah. I have alcohol question mark in my notes.
Alcohol
So.
question mark? Okay, you grab 2 bottles of wine. You don't stop to inspect the labels. You just grab 2 off of the thing and shove them in your pack.
They look expensive.
Agnes, do you go before Therius, or I mean, it doesn't particularly matter, but I'm assuming all of you go down into the cellar. Okay.
Down into the cellar.
You all do you close the trapdoor behind you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the trapdoor to the thing is closed. You are all in pitch black. Roris can't see crap, and he's like, I someone else lead. I can't.
Flower.
See.
Flower takes his hand. I can see. Here.
Okay, good. Cool.
All right, let's book everyone. I'd rather be away from the city before they find this place and that guard wakes up.
Yeah, happy to run.
Okay, so you all start jogging. Flower, you are holding Roris's hand and are a little bit encumbered by that because Buddy cannot run fast with his tiny halfling legs. But
Flower is upset she can't see in the dark as a lion.
You know what? It's weird. You should be able to, but D&D rules, man.
Yep. I mean, they're freaking night hunters.
You would assume, right? But no. Apparently tigers have dark vision.
Huh.
Had you chosen to be a tiger?
Can you turn into a tiger?
Don't do that.
You don't really need to right now. You're jogging along through this tunnel. The tunnel is about half a mile long. Actually, it's a little bit more than that. It's probably closer to like a little bit over a mile and some change. You're jogging along. You don't run into anyone. It's quiet. You can hear your own footsteps clattering around the walls. You don't light any lights, I'm assuming?
No.
Okay, so you keep on going. Eventually, those of you with night vision, you see the end of the tunnel coming up, and there's another ladder going up.
All right.
Over here.
All right.
Flower is going to stop under the ladder to change into the clothes that she found in the evidence locker, I'm guessing.
The fancy but dirty clothes?
The slightly dirty clothes that aren't druid clothes, so it's less obvious who she is.
Okay, they are...
The clothes I found as well.
Okay, so, Flower, the clothes that you found are a bit large for you. You think they were intended for a man. They do fit... Oh, a cat. Sorry. They do fit, but they're a bit too big for you, and it's a little obvious that, these were not meant for you. Agnes, the clothes that you found are, like, sort of a commoner's garb. They look a little rough for wear, but they do fit reasonably well. They are a woman's clothes, so you're in luck there. The shoes, are you trying to put the shoes on?
I mean, I'll try.
They're a little too small.
Okay, I'll just keep my shoes on.
All right, so you have a spare pair of shoes that are too small. Okay, so who's going up the ladder first?
Therius, do you want to go up first, just so you can check in case, make sure the coast is clear? Oh, and Therius is gone.
Therius is gone. Therius got distracted by a cat.
Is it murder cat or fat cat?
Fat cat.
I'll be right back.
Having snackies.
Silver, I'll just ask if you want to go up the ladder first.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Therius, you start climbing the ladder. You find a trapdoor at the very top. It's just a rough wooden trapdoor. You press up against it, I'm assuming?
I listen really briefly to make sure there's, like, no sounds of danger on the other side.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
8.
Okay, you don't hear anything.
Yeah, push up.
Okay, you push up, and it's a little heavy, but nothing against your rough dwarven brawn. You push up against the trapdoor, and it goes up, and light starts flooding the tunnel. It's not super bright. It's enough for Roris to see at the very least, but it's pretty dim still. And you look up out of there, and you look like you're in some sort of cave. And now that you've come out into the cave, you can hear, like, a distant sound of water rushing. It's not too loud, but it definitely sounds like there's running water somewhere nearby. The cave itself is abandoned. There's leaves and other nature debris scattered around the floor.
But it all looks natural.
It all looks pretty natural. The only unnatural thing in this cave is the presence of the trapdoor itself. If you want to roll an investigation check, I can tell you more. Or a perception check, actually.
Okay. Natural 1.
That's it. You get wind comes in and it blows some dirt in your eyes and you're like, ah, God. And you crawl out of the little trapdoor.
Yeah, I climb out.
All right, who's
I'll do.
next?
I'll climb up next.
All right, Silverall will go next. Roris will go up next and he'll start trying to pull Skullcrusher up with the rope. He's like, Agnes, can you give me a hand?
Yeah.
And whoever's behind you just like, can you push it? Yeah. You give the little puppy a boost. I say little, he's a freaking Tibetan Mastiff. He's like as big as you are. You push him up. Skullcrusher comes out of the trapdoor. You all go up. And you're all in this cave. It's dim lighting. You can see lighting come from one end. The other side is just the cave end. It's like a concave wall. It looks fairly natural. It looks like this was maybe like whatever sediment was in here was slowly washed away over time. Maybe it's a fairly natural looking old cave.
Okay. Can I roll a perception check to see if I notice anything?
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. 14.
Okay, so you see in the dirt on the floor of the cave, there's leaves and twigs, and there's the distinct shape of at least 2 pairs of footsteps coming away from the trapdoor and going out. One significantly smaller than the other.
Okay. Only 2?
That's all you can make out. You know for sure there's 2. There could be more, but it's kind of difficult to distinguish it from all of the other debris.
Okay.
Probably Harold and his son. We saw them leaving earlier.
Yeah.
Side note, it wasn't Harold, but it was a dude. You did help a dude and his daughter escape through here.
I thought he also had a wife with him, though.
Not the dude. Well, I mean, there was. You did see a guy in here, but that was a lot more. There were a bunch of them. You only see 2 footprints here.
Okay.
You did, Therius, you and Roris know. Roris probably says, we helped a guy out. There was a guy and his daughter. We helped them escape through here earlier. It was like maybe 2 hours ago.
Okay.
All right.
Let's get out of here.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay, so you all start heading out through the cave. It's not a very deep one. There's like one big arch that sort of blocks you from the outside, like almost a corner, but it's sort of curved. And you come out and you hear the sound of water getting louder, and you come out onto essentially the shore of a river. It's not a very broad one. It's sort of like a shallow but quick-moving river, and it's maybe about 4 or 5 feet wide. It's just cruising on by. You see that there are trees all around you, but if you look back, you can see there's like a big rocky outcropping, and just past that, further down, you can see in the distance what you think is the walls of Penrith, but you're not super sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's get away from the city.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
I never liked Penrith to begin with, so
Screw that city, it sucked. Yeah.
Flowers
Someday I'll
forever
find a
hold,
place I
like
can
they
call
have
home.
an established rivalry.
That's true. Like their fantasy football teams would play each
If
other.
there were a time that we may want to head to the Elven capital, now may actually be it. Agnes says very, very reluctantly.
Can you remind me why we're heading here?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so a little recap for everyone because it has been a while. currently, the plan that we talked about before all this nonsense happened was we were trying to find some sort of magic user who was powerful enough to track down the source of these dimensional rifts that keep spitting freaking demonic creatures into our plane. Flower had suggested that you track down her mentor, Vartan, who she said was traveling in the southern forests of the continent of Olimar. Last time she knew about that, anyway. Agnes was all for going to Usuldore because she thought that the Council of 12 would be able to help with this problem. The Hoods...
Not like all for it. Like, reluctantly agreed it might be a good idea.
Agnes reluctantly agreed it might be a good idea to go to Usuldore to talk to the Council of 12.
Right.
What Flower brings up, Barton is on the 12.
Barton is a member of the 12. Agnes, you would know of Vartan. You probably can have a vague recollection of what he looks like, but you never knew him particularly well. He didn't really seem around all that much while you were growing up in Yauma.
Okay.
Because he liked it that way.
He liked it that way. Bro does not like being tied down. The Hoods wanted you guys to pop into Ravenmoor with them. They offered to travel with you. Obviously, you're not with them now, and you don't really know where they are. You're not super sure where you are. If one of you guys wants to try and figure out which direction up from the city you are, that might
I'll try.
Yeah, I'll do that as well. What are we rolling for?
It would be a nature check or a survival check, whichever's higher. Dealer's choice.
I have the Wanderer feat, which means I have an excellent memory for maps and geography and can always recall the general layout of the land around me.
Excellent. So
I got a 22 survival.
Okay, so Flower and Therius, you guys are pretty dang sure that you remember that there was a small river to the northeast of Penrith.
Also, I got a 19.
You got a 19? Alright, so friggin' everybody knows this. Everybody's like, oh yeah, there was this small river to the northeast of Penrith. It was an offshoot of the Northern Run that just comes down here, a little trickle, and heads over to the east near Halfling territory.
Yeah, remember the one that I paralyzed Soverall in?
Yep.
That was the Northern Run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was on the way back here. This is a different river, same water though. So maybe this is the very water that Soverall was paralyzed in. We just don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yes.
But so you guys know that you're vaguely to the northeast of Penrith.
Okay.
Well, so it sounds like the Hoods want to check in on Ravenmoor, and we were interested in going to Usuldore. Why don't we check in Ravenmoor on the way, since I believe it's on the way.
Direction, and we thought that perhaps Roris's friend, what's his name, might be there.
Which one?
The one who was kidnapped and is missing.
Oh no, freaking Padraic. Padraic, last time he was seen was in Thurbinal, which is far, far to the east.
Okay, we don't have to go there yet, guys. Don't worry.
Roris is like, I'd kind of like to go there. Just, maybe. I mean, like, I understand, but, you know.
I mean, Boris, you need to do what you need to do. If you need to go check on Padraic, we understand.
No. We're not splitting up. We need to stay together, especially now that we're all wanted criminals.
I mean, to be fair, if we're all wanted criminals, sticking together is probably not the smartest plan.
The wolf pack dies when the lone wolf leaves.
I feel like that was like in a fortune cookie or something. I mean, like, I feel like Penrith has bigger things to deal with than us. Though they did think we killed the Eminence. A little bit. He might show up again.
Unless he really wants us dead, and then he was waiting until we were executed to be like, hey, get up.
Well, I mean, you
I
guys
think
are
maybe we need to find him.
to find the Eminent. We have huger things to deal with right now. I'm all for finding some sort of wizard dude or something to deal with this demon problem. Because, like, I don't want to live in a world where giant demons can be summoned at random to attack me.
I mean, I don't either, but I also think if we ever want to not be wanted criminals ever again, we need to find this dude and prove that he's shady as shit.
It can
So,
be on our to-do
how
list.
about this?
It's just not priority number one.
It's not, yeah.
So, guys, what I'm going to suggest is we go to Osadore via the southern forests. If we do that, then I'm pretty sure I can get a hold of Barton if we travel through the forest. He has a few animal friends that we might be able to run into, so I can get a hold of him there. You know how animals are good at tracking things? We might be able to get a whiff of Padriac that way. With his help, he might be able to guide us somewhere. At the very least, he can either get word to the Council of 12, so we'll be taken more seriously, or he can get word to several other druids, so maybe they could look into this whole dimension problem.
You said there's like a circle or something of them, like an association of druids?
Yes, it's council isn't the right term. It's essentially when you're proven to be powerful enough, you can join the circle,
It's
is
a secret
what
club. It's a secret
Yes.
club of druids.
yes.
Okay.
Awesome.
I mean, Agnes, your family's like elf royalty. They could like pardon us or something, couldn't they? Get us some sort of.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be fine with the elves, but they don't really meddle in the affairs of humans.
What about the
Yeah.
halflings? Do they meddle in the affairs of halflings?
I mean, you're not wanted under halfling law, so as far as they're concerned, you're probably fine, but to be honest, like, they're just gonna tell us that humans are fucking stupid, and then good luck.
They sound a little racist.
A bit.
Eh.
Not, they're never out and out, but you, she looks over at Agnes. Get the feeling you're kind of, a bastard no matter what you do.
Pretty much. Growing up was fun.
Oh, yes. I'm really glad I didn't live there.
So generally speaking, you guys know that Ravenmoor is in the direction of, it's sort of on the way to the southern forest. You could pop in. It is about a week's travel from here. You know, Underdell is about 3 days away.
What about travel by lion?
Travel by lion, a lion would get there in 5 days, but I don't think everyone can fit in on a lion's back. Just saying.
No, unfortunately.
You
I'm
could
not
get-
lying for Steven Universe.
You could get maybe 2 of you on there. But, like, if one
I'm
of them is
also only
Rorus, you can do it, but nah.
I'm also only good for like an hour, like 3 times a day, so.
So yeah, 3 days to Underdale, a week if you go straight to Ravenmoor. The forest would be an additional 2 days after that.
We should probably...
Yep.
I mean, Ravenmoor is in the right direction, and we did tell the hoods we would go there.
I'm all for that.
That's sort of my vote. And at the very least, we'll at least have one evening of good rest once we're in a city.
Oh yes, because Ravenmoor loves us.
But the hoods are...
They
Yeah,
hardly
they
remember
will.
the time I ripped that guy's arms off.
It was like 2 months ago.
It
Do
was
you all
like so
remember
long.
how we left? Because it was at night, sneaking out.
So when we go to Ravenmoor, we'll be, careful. We'll go visit the hoods. We'll stay with them. We won't, stick our heads out. It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yes, that worked so well last time.
Guys, I'm getting a feeling
Shit.
that we're creating a pattern here of leaving cities as wanted criminals. And busting people
No.
from jail. We need to stop getting arrested.
We were fine in Everholt.
This is ruining my rep, guys. I was like...
In our defense, I feel like that prison break went pretty well, all things considered.
I mean, yeah, I got this sweet dagger and this strange powder.
Also, to be fair,
Can I see the powder?
they were being bastards first.
Once we figure out what it is.
Well, that's what I'm wondering if I can do, if I
Like-
can figure out what it is.
Also, Kate, we
Not
can't see you.
here.
As lovely as your wall is, could I...
When we settle down for the night, we can try to figure out what all these things are.
We should probably get moving.
We should keep moving, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you all start heading generally to the southeast. You're careful skirting through the woods, staying out of sight of the city. It's definitely, as you keep moving, you definitely see that it is Penrith's walls that you're passing. But you don't see any, like, there's no guards coming outside of the city. Everything seems to be very internal. You can see there's still smoke rising from certain parts of it, because parts of the city are still done messed up. But you start traveling southward at a fairly good clip. You keep doing that for a while. Does anyone want to do anything during your travels?
Just want to get as far away from the city as possible.
Yeah.
Can I continue trying to be Batman?
In the woods, sure. You can vigilante
Well,
the
because my
crap out of the
teacher is
woodland
here.
creatures. Yeah,
Darius
no,
is my teacher.
If Therius wants to, if you guys want to get some hand-to-hand combat training in while you're traveling, go for it.
I'm not sure now is the time for that.
Fine.
Okay, so you
Because
travel.
I'd rather keep moving.
It's pretty much like halfway through the day by the time you guys leave Penrith, and so you travel for a couple more hours until it starts getting dark. And then you're a days into your travel.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm assuming people set up watches. You guys all.
I'm gonna look at the dagger, see what I can learn about it.
Okay. So you inspect the dagger, you give some time to just like check it over. It appears to be a normal dagger, though incredibly fancy. You do find it was scrubbed pretty clean, but in some of the settings of the gems on the handle, you see something that kind of looks like a flaky brownish substance, like something dried there. You suspect it's probably blood, because you did steal this out of an evidence locker. But otherwise, it seems to be a normal, if incredibly fancy, dagger.
What else can I find besides the clothes again?
Sorry?
I got something besides the clothes. It was clothes.
You got a satchel full of candles.
Oh, okay. Do the candles seem to have any significance in them? Can I do detect magic?
Yeah, you can do detect magic.
Okay, 1 second.
And everything nearby you that's magical appears magical.
Does anyone else want to look over the crap they found?
I would like to look over the satchel I found, because I don't know what's in it besides clothes.
It seems to be just a basic explorer's pack.
Okay.
There's some extra cookware in it. There's like a set of cutlery. There is some rope. It's nice. It's silk.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's the good rope.
So, Christina, basically anything that's magic around me that isn't behind like an inch of stone, I can sense with its aura.
Okay, so you sense an aura from the magical objects on your party members. I don't remember if any of you have magical objects on you.
But no magical objects I see.
Well, I'm keeping going. So you sense like whatever magical items are on your party. I don't off the top of my head remember what you guys have. Like I know. Huh?
Is it like
The blue potion?
You sense some magic coming from the potions.
Okay.
There's do you get a school of magic from them or anything? You sense an aura, but do you get like do you earn the school or anything? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Okay, I know. So you sense magic coming from the potions that Therius has on him. You sense magic coming from Rorris's Ring of Protection. The fiddle he carries, you also get a magical aura from that. 2 of the 3 candles, you do sense a magical aura from.
I do learn at School of Magic.
Okay. Crap. What's the School of Magic for that? You sense a School of Magic of illusion magic coming from 2 of the 3 candles.
Huh. I'm gonna ask our rogue, do you know of any illusion spells around candles that's useful?
Do I know any illusion spells around
Roll
candles?
me an Arcana check, my friend.
13.
I'd also like to Arcana.
Okay, Flower, do it.
4.
4?
It's magic.
But you got 4? Yeah, no, so you know
Yes.
it's magic. It's magic, all right. So overall, you've heard of a couple of illusions surrounding candles. You know of there's one that whenever you light it, the person holding it can't be seen so long as the candle's lit. You know of another one where you light the candle and it only casts light that the person holding it can see. It's still dark all around. You know a couple of things like that, but you don't know which one this is.
So I tell Flower that when I was younger, my mother told me stories of, illusionary magic being used for various candles and the like to create light in those sorts of ways. So, but don't know anything else about it.
It seems like if these were an evidence locker, then they would have belonged to a thief at one point.
Very possibly.
Do I detect magic around anything else, like the potion's aura?
You sense the
Or what?
potion's aura. One of the potions is definitely a healing potion. You know that. I'm BSing this because I don't for sure know which school of magic the other potion is. It seems like transmutation.
Okay.
The other one does.
So I'll point out to, like, I look over at Therius. So one of those potions definitely isn't healing, and we should probably figure out what it is.
One, it's transmutation magic, you said?
It's the other potion. I think it was blue.
Yeah.
Is transmutation. Yes, the blue one is transmutation magic. One of you also has a green potion on your body.
No. Wait.
Flower might have a green potion.
I do have a green potion.
That one you're sensing illusion from as well.
Sweet. I also have a blue potion.
If you both have blue potions, they're both giving off the same aura.
And the satchel that I have and the dagger don't give off any magical auras, correct?
No, they're not giving anything
Perfect.
off. The powder is some sort of powder. The dagger is a normal but very fancy, very expensive dagger.
I look at the powder and I try to see if I know what it is.
All right, roll me a nature check.
Nature check, you say?
17.
Okay, so you know of a couple of things this might be, but you have a strong feeling that this in particular is a powdery substance that comes from a root of the plant. It makes the person who ingests it feel very, keyed up. It sort of gets your adrenaline running. You feel sort of like a rush. You feel like
Is this cocaine?
it's almost like a barbarian rage, but not as intense. It just makes you feel like very almost invincible. Though
So it's cocaine and angel dust. You got a CCP.
You got freaking speed in drug form, but it's not magical.
I know that Flower is our resident drug expert. I asked Flower specifically. So I think this powder might give you a strong upper. Do you know it at all? Can you recognize this or know anything about this?
Flower.
Can I use medicine?
Yeah, you can, and you also have advantage of it because you are the resident drug expert. Your stoner childhood is coming into help here.
16.
With advantage?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've heard of this. You don't know the name of it, but you definitely know that is what it is.
Do you know if there's... Oh, yeah.
Would I be like, oh, stay away from this bullshit? Or would I be like, if you really need it, maybe?
You know that there is a pretty big drop-off afterward. But it doesn't, taking
not
in small
addictive?
amounts, it'll mess you up. But taken in small amounts, it shouldn't be a super big deal.
I wouldn't make a habit of taking it. Be aware you'll crash very soon after. You'll get a bout of productivity and strength. But don't get used to taking it. You will end up on the side of the road shaking and yelling at things you shouldn't shake and yell at.
Do you know how much is a safe or recommended dose?
Christina, would I?
Yeah, basically it's very rough because y'all don't have exact units of measure.
Right.
A pinch is enough for a little bit. If you do maybe like enough to fill just the basic cup palm of your hand, that'd be more than enough to really get you going. Any more than that and you are ruined.
So
Okay.
Flowers, like, I would recommend she kind of reaches in and shows him like a pinch of it. This much under most circumstances, no more than, and she kind of shows him roughly the amount. No more than this ever.
And how many doses would you say there are, like, pinches?
I would say that it's a pretty small satchel. There's probably maybe like 5.
Okay.
So there's enough for 5 pinch doses. There is enough for maybe like close to 2, almost 2 of the handful doses.
Okay.
So just enough to OD on.
Just enough to really get you going and also to kill you if you take it all at once.
But also not enough to experiment with before we need to use it.
I mean, if you want to, like, give it a little lick, be my guest. You do you, bro. This is your world. I'm just the god of it.
I'm gonna hold on to this for a while.
Flower does offer, I'll watch you if you want me to watch you while you try it.
Can we not do
Assuming
this
if-
right now?
It's been a long day. I will take one of the pinches and I will just use it. I'll take
Okay,
a dab of it.
you basically, you just put it on your tongue straight up, and it tastes kind of nasty. It tastes basically like you just took a rotten something or other and shoved it in your mouth. It's really bitter, it's really gross, but you force it down, you swallow it, and nothing seems to happen at first.
Mm-hmm.
But as like the minutes go on and it's dark, you are all like setting up a camp for the night. You start feeling pretty good. Like you start feeling like, yeah, I could go all day. I could travel through the night. Freaking, I could punch a tree in half. I could do whatever I want. You start feeling pretty good. You start feeling
All
like
right.
like you have a +3 to strength and con checks.
All right.
If I was to give it a numerical assignment.
Flowers kind of watching him like, yeah, that's about what I expected.
He gets a little crazy-eyed. And his face
All right.
is like, it's a little flush. It looks like a good, healthy glow, but Flower, this won't last long.
Okay. While
Flower-
I have this, like, bout of energy and strength, I will do whatever I can to set up camp.
Okay. You help set up camp like a boss.
I'm bouncing around everywhere.
Like a manic speed
60 seconds.
cocaine boss.
What's next? What's there to do? Anything else I can do? And what can I do now? Like, come on, guys.
You should go exercise Skull Crusher, like run a couple laps around
Skull
camp.
Crusher. Yep. Let's go running.
Get
And then I take Skull Crusher and I just run through the trees and start weaving through and like doing agility exercises with him for a bit.
Roris is like, be careful with my dog.
He's okay. He's fine. He'll be good.
Skullcrusher's
Or
having the
kind of
time
waves
of his
at
life.
Roris, like, it's okay.
Skullcrusher's like, yeah, we're running. He's stoked.
And I will purposely be dashing as a bonus action and dashing as my action.
Man, you are going super fast. It doesn't increase
So,
your actual land speed any, but you feel like you could do this for ages.
Yep.
And
Your legs
Skullcrusher's
are
like,
gonna hurt in the morning.
he is bounding after you. Skullcrusher is loving it. He's having the time of his life. So everyone's setting up camp. You're a couple hours out of Penrith. You're off the main road, I'm assuming. Like, not on
Yep.
it. Okay. So this goes on, this nonsense. Everyone's, like, putting up their tents and talking about who's gonna get washed. This nonsense goes on for about 10 minutes. And then, so overall, you start feeling, you're like, okay, I feel like it's probably, okay. And you just sort of, like, your legs give out. Because
I collapse.
all of the pain of your muscles that you've been ignoring so far because you've just been like, yeah, run. That's all hitting you at once, and your legs just give out. And Skullcrusher runs past you and then realizes you're not there. And then he comes back and he's like sniffing around your body with his tail wagging, like, what's wrong, friend? We're running.
Agnes is gonna go look over at Silverall and go, well, I guess he's not keeping watch at all tonight.
Silverall, you have 2 points of fatigue.
Wow.
Flower's gonna say,
So
I told you you'd
so-
crash.
That's 2 levels of exhaustion.
You have 2 levels of exhaustion, yeah.
shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's not good.
This is real good for certain situations, but it's got a big crash after.
And Flower's like, I told you.
So just to be clear about the +3 strength, +3 con,
Yes.
is that a +3 to any constitution or strength roll, or is that +3 to the ability,
It
your
is a
ability score?
+3 to the ability modifier.
Okay.
It is,
Damn.
it is a temporary +3 to your strength and constitution modifier.
Damn.
There are 4 doses left.
Got it. Okay. In my exhaustion, I'm like, Darius, you do you. And
You
I
give
hand
him
this
the
to Darius.
You give Darius the drugs.
Be careful. And then I pass out.
Okay.
Flower looks at him. She's not outright laughing, but you can definitely tell she's kind of amused.
Roris comes over, being a good friend. He sort of like hefts Overall over his shoulder, but Overall's legs are still dragging on the floor. And Skullcrusher's just following with his tail wagging still, like, yes, fun times. Why are we sleeping now? And you all gather around your little campsite.
Flower's gonna talk with Skullcrusher for a little while.
Okay, you start chatting with the dog.
I'm just sitting on a log, really enjoying some quality time, like cleaning and shining my axe.
Cool.
Quality time with the axe.
You're all sort of like just decompressing from the day. It's been very stressful. You almost died. You busted out of prison again. You're probably wanted criminals in Penrith. And the weight of the situation starts to sort of settle on your shoulders that this is a really big deal. There's like things that you cannot fight, things that you have no hope of defeating. You came close enough to death today, staring at that demon. Probably almost closer than you've ever been. It was just like an overwhelming force of pure evil and violence that you faced, and you ran away from. You escaped it. But you know that's in the world now. You don't know if the demon itself is still out there, but the possibility of such things coming back is out there now. You don't feel necessarily safe anymore where you were. But where you are... Sorry.
Said my cat just farted on me.
and then a random toot in the forest breaks the tension. Sorry, I just dropped a bunch of stuff. So you guys start, you hear, at least, outside of Penrith, outside the walls, in nature. You are surrounded by the sounds of nature. You hear the night birds singing, you hear frogs croaking, you hear insects buzzing about. If you started a fire, I don't know if you did, you'll hear the fire crackling too. Yes. You started a fire? Alright,
Yes.
Darius has started a fire. It's warm, it's comforting. You feel at your element here. You feel like in a little bubble of at least temporary peace. But who knows how long that'll last.
Flower does look quite a bit more down than she normally does. Like, she's actually serious and taking something seriously in her mind. Instead of the usual, I'm gonna go sit by the tree and get high, guys.
Yeah, that was actually Overall this evening was the one who got high
Yeah.
today. It was a
That
it was a special moment for us all.
It was a moment that's, yeah.
Yep.
Granted, Flower's drugs usually does the opposite of what Soberall's did.
So at this point, I can keep going, but it is 10:30 almost.
Mm-hmm.
If we would like to stop for this evening, this is a good place. If we feel comfortable going forward, I have more that I can go with us.
I'm cool with stopping.
I'm cool with
But I'm
going
also-
if I can get a tea break.
No.
I leave it up to everyone else.
Jay,
Well,
you're the
wait, I'd be good to go.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
go.
So we'll have a little break, a eatsy break.
10 minutes, enough to boil some water every.
Yeah,
good.
we'll do 10 minutes for everyone to refresh their beverages, and then we will be back.
Sounds good.
Okie dokie.